A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry of the Circus. For Jerry of the Circus.
Bumps?
Well, Jerry.
Gee, I thought the show would never end tonight. Down, Rags. Of course I'm proud of you. Down. Yes, you put on a swell show tonight. You're a smart dog.
Well, is something bothering you, Jerry?
No, I guess I just wanted to talk to you, that's all.
Well, let's head toward the wagon, huh? I'll take my makeup off and we'll... Look out for those zebras.
I'm watching.
Oh, they're treacherous little animals. You never know when they're going to take a notion to kick out at somewhere. Well, come on, Jerry.
Okay. Coming, Rags? I love watching the last parade at the end of the show.
Well, you mean the last walk around?
Yeah. The acts are all over, but when you all go around the ring again and the applause starts all over again, the crowd starts to leave and we start breaking up the show, taking down the tents, and... Oh, I love it.
Well, we got to have those things in our blood, Jerry. Most people, I guess, would rather go home, get into a nice warm bed, and go to sleep.
They just don't know what they miss. Bumps, I've been watching them load the animals and cart them off to the station. I just love to see all the dark shapes going through the lot at night with music still going on in the main tent.
I guess you're right. Well, here we are. Close the door, Jerry. All right. Now, Jerry, what's on your mind?
Nothing.
Oh, no, you can't fool me. You're hanging around me for some reason.
Well, I guess I'm just kind of sad.
Sad?
Yeah, after finding out about Decker.
Oh, yes, I know, Jerry.
I liked him, and now maybe he's a crook.
I was afraid that was what on your mind. Now, listen, in the first place, we haven't any proof. Well, that is certain proof that he stole that money. Though I admit it looks kind of bad.
If he only hadn't run away or tried to put the blame on Jason, that's the worst of it.
I know.
And Lorenz, too.
I've always thought there was something peculiar about that combination.
What do you mean?
Well, Lorenz is such a different type than Decker. It just seemed unnatural for two men like that to be friends.
Bumps, the more I think about it, the funnier it seems. I sometimes had the feeling Decker was afraid of Lorenz.
Yeah, he was under Lorenz's thumb, all right. Oh, but now you mustn't keep worrying about it, Jerry. Well, looks as if we're going to have company.
Hello, who's there? Bumps? Jerry?
Yeah, come on in, Jason.
Oh, hello there. I saw the light and thought one of you might be in.
Well, how come you're around so late, Jason?
Yeah, you don't have to do the last walk around. By the way, why aren't you ever in the last parade?
Oh, he's one of the stars in this show, Jerry.
Well, aren't you too?
Well, you bet Bumps is a star. But you see, Jerry, he runs all through the show, and I just have my one act, and then I'm through.
Oh, Jason's just being modest.
You can't imagine me walking along in the grand parade with my lions on a leash, can you?
Golly, the audience would be in a panic, all right.
Besides, Bumps can always think of some new things to do on the spur of the moment to please the people and make them laugh. I only know my one routine of tricks, or those I'm working on for the next season.
To hear Jason talk, you'd think he didn't have much to do, wouldn't you, Jerry?
Yeah, but he's not telling about all the hours and days and weeks of training he's taken to handle those animals.
Well, you're right there, Jerry. Lots of my work never shows. For instance, I'm heading for a job right now. Want to come along?
Sure, what is it?
Well, I've been waiting for them to get the lions loaded on the flat cars so I could get over there and fix Daisy up again tonight.
You bet I'd like to help fix her. Would you let me put the medicine on her this time?
Well, I don't know about that.
I saw you do it this afternoon.
Oh, I know, Jerry, but you have to learn to handle well animals before you can do much with sick ones. Lions are pretty irresponsible when they're hurt.
Well, a wild animal's first instinct is to strike out, Jerry. They don't stop to think that you've been good to them.
That's because they're afraid, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, that's it. Now, when you fix a child that's hurt, well, the child knows you're trying to help it.
So does Rags. No matter what's happened, he lets me fix him up. He doesn't even whimper if he can help it.
Someday we may get our wild animals to understand us that well, Jerry. But so far, we're just beginning to gain their confidence. It's uphill work.
Well, if you two are going to fix that line, you better get started. Remember, we pull out of this town at 2.
Oh, we'll have lots of time.
You think after the day you've had, Jerry, you'd want to go to bed.
Well, I got to learn all I can about the circus while I'm still young, don't I? I'll never get anywhere if I don't.
Come on, Jerry. Don't let Bumps kid you. You don't have to explain.
Oh. Come on, Rags. Goodbye, Bumps.
Goodbye, son.
You'll be on the train. Don't worry, Bumps.
All right.
Have you heard any more about Lorenz and Decker, Jason?
Well, I've just been talking to Randall. He's gotten in touch with the local police, and they've sent out telegrams to every town that the train passes through.
You think they got away on the train, then?
Well, it's the only train out of this town they could have gotten. If they're hanging around here anywhere, they'll certainly be picked up by the police in a hurry.
And what about Mr. Bennett? Did Mr. Randall say whether he's going to get well enough to come with us tonight or not?
Don't you worry about Jim Bennett. He's as tough as they make him. He'd come along with us tonight if they had to bring him on the train with a stretcher.
He's brave, all right. You know, he walked all the way to the doctor's with me right after the holdup. When we got there, the doctor thought he might have concussion or something.
So it probably wasn't quite that bad. Here, Jerry, this way. We can cut across the tracks. Here. Hey, what's going on?
It's right over there by the flank cars. See, where the elephants are helping to load those wagons. Come on, let's hurry.
Careful, don't get too close, Jerry. Looks like one of the elephants is on a rampage.
Jason, that elephant picked up a man.
Good night.
Bertie, stop that!
Thank heaven Olson's there.
Get back there, Bertie, get back!
Is he hurt?
No, just scared.
Bertie, quiet now. Now, some of you men come here and watch this elephant. I want to find out just what this is all about. Who is this man? Oh, it's you, Zeke.
He tried to kill me. He tried to kill me. I'll sue you for this.
Come on, get up. Let's see if you're hurt. Come on. Now, listen here, Zeke. I've told you before to stay away from that elephant. You and your crazy idea of playing jokes. But I'll be darned if I let you get my elephants into trouble.
Well, why is he mad at that man? It was the elephant that caused all the trouble.
I'll tell you all about it later, Jerry.
Look at the law, and you're letting murderous elephants around honest folks. It ain't right.
Now, look here, Zeke. If you want to stay with this outfit, you keep your nose clean. One word out of you, and I'll have you fired so fast you won't know what happened. Yeah, and it serve him right, too. Yes. Well, okay, men. Now go on and get back to work. We pull out of here in an hour.
Well, hello, Olson. Looks like you've been having a little trouble.
Trouble, my eye. If the men were as easy to handle as the animals, there'd be no trouble.
What happened, Mr. Olson?
You get Jason to tell you. I got to go take Gertie out of here for the night.
Aren't you going to let her work anymore?
Not tonight, I'm not. She's too excited, and I don't take any risks with my men or my elephants.
I suppose this Zeke is the same driver you've complained of before.
Yeah, he is. And you bet I don't complain about him no more. He behaves himself or he leaves this circus.
Well, what'd Zeke do this time?
I don't know and I don't care, but one thing I won't have is him making a killer out of Gertie. She's one of the best workers I've got and as gentle as a lamb. Well, I got to get her bedded down for the night. Come on, Gertie. Come on.
Listen to that elephant talking to Mr. Olson.
She's certainly scolding away about something.
I guess I'm kind of dumb, but I can't figure this all out.
Well, it was Zeke's fault.
How do you know?
Well, you heard the other men talking about him.
Yeah, they all seem to be on the elephant side.
Well, they are. You see, Zeke has been teasing Gertie ever since he joined the circus.
That's dangerous, isn't it?
Well, I'll say it is. Come on down this way. Daisy's car's right below here.
What kind of things does Zeke do?
He used to get just beyond Gertie's reach when she was chained and take a long stick and tease her.
Gee, that's mean.
Yeah, and one day she got so excited she broke loose.
Did she go after Zeke?
Olson just happened to come by then, so she didn't have much chance to do anything.
I don't think I'd like to be in Zeke's shoes.
I'm sure I wouldn't. Well, here's the car. Can you climb up here, Jerry?
Sure thing. Sure. Up you go. Good boy.
Good for you. And Rags, too. That dog certainly can jump. Jerry, want to help me push this panel back?
Sure.
There we go. That's right, Daisy. Yeah, I just want to fix you up a little.
Can I help?
You hold this stick while I get this cotton wound around it. There now. Plenty of medicine on it.
Certainly put a lot of that stuff on.
I want to be sure to get enough on the first time. Here we go. That's right, Daisy. There, I guess that fixes you for the night. Well, come on, Jerry. Help me here with this panel. There. Thanks, Jerry. Well, I guess we've done our good deed for the night. What do you think we'd better do next?
Well, we got a lot of time before the train pulls out.
Maybe we'd better get to bed.
Well, of course, if you say so, but...
Unless you think you might like a little pie and some ice cream.
Oh, boy. Do you mean it?
I take it you would like some then.
You bet I would. Gee, thanks.
Okay, Jerry. Let's head for the station. There's a restaurant there, and they'll be open.
I'm hungry, boy.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Well, it's sure nice to be asked, though.
I like your company, Jerry.
You know, Jason, I can't get over that elephant.
You mean Gertie?
Yeah. Funny how they remember things. Don't they ever go after the wrong man?
Never. They don't make that mistake. You see, Jerry, one reason Olson gets so upset is that if Gertie should ever get mad enough to kill a man, she'd probably have to be shot.
No.
Well, that's the rule. So you see, Olson wants to keep her from getting so worked up that she might do something like that.
Golly, I'll say. Oh, is this the restaurant you mean?
Yeah. Come on, Rags. Yeah, let's sit here at the counter. Atta boy.
Hi, Jason. Hi,
Hello.
Kid.
Hi, Joe. Now, let's see. Waiter.
Yes, sir?
Have you got any pie?
But we have almost any kind you want.
Well, how about apple, Jerry?
Yeah, that's swell. And can I have some ice cream, too?
You bet you can. 2 apple pies a la mode and a cup of coffee.
Coming right up.
Well, what do you got there, Jerry?
That picture of my Uncle Dan, the one Patsy's dad sent her.
Yeah, he's certainly a fine-looking man, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's not all. He's a wonderful man, too. He's real brave. Traps wild animals and shoots better than an Indian.
I've heard of him, Jerry. Well, the morning paper out already. Here, boy, I'll have one of those papers.
Yes, sir.
Here you are.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, Jerry, here's our pie and ice cream.
Sure looks good, huh?
You bet. Be careful of your uncle's picture, Jerry. You don't want to get it all sticky.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it in my inside pocket here. That's where I usually keep it so it won't get mussed. Boy, this is sure good ice cream, boy.
I think I'll have a look at this paper and see what's happened in the outside world today.
If there's anything exciting, tell me about it. I'm too busy to do anything but eat right now.
Well, Jerry.
What?
Well, look here. Oh, that's awful.
What is it?
Well, listen to this. Suffering from numerous contusions and abrasions and possible internal injuries, an unidentified man was discovered lying in an unconscious condition in the right-of-way of the L, R, and S railroad tracks late tonight by a crew of track workers. Authorities are said to believe he was either pushed or had fallen from the westbound 540 train. No identification was found on his person or in his pockets except...
What's the matter, Jason?
Except that he wore a full beard, which...
Jason, you don't think it's Decker?
I don't know what to think. But that's the train he and Lorenz took.
Where have they got him now?
Well, let's see. Rushed to the emergency hospital at... Oh, golly, that's the town we play tomorrow.
And we'll be there for 3 days.
Well, we'll certainly have to check on this. I'll bet Randall and the police will be interested in this bit of news.
Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Our Miss Brooks teaches English at Madison High School, and like many other teachers, started a brand new semester last Monday.
And like many other teachers, I attended a faculty meeting Monday afternoon. Here, our beloved principal, Osgood Conklin, gave me my semi-annual pat on the back. Then I picked myself up and walked back across the room. And he instituted his new crackdown plan. More discipline, less horseplay, everybody toe the line, run the school in an orderly manner. After this mirth-provoking monologue, he chewed up a little furniture and stalked out. Well, maybe it was the faculty meeting, or then again, maybe it was the watercress and cucumber sandwich I had before retiring. At any rate, I remember lying in bed Monday night and dozing off, when suddenly I seemed to be awakened by a loud pounding at my door. What is it? Who's there?
It is I, Osgood Conklin, your beloved principal. I'm coming in.
Mr. Conklin, is anything wrong?
Wrong? There's plenty wrong. We've got to crack down. More discipline. Less horseplay. Everybody toe the line. Run the school in an orderly manner.
But, Mr. Conklin, is this your idea of less horseplay? I was fast asleep.
Oh, then I hope I'm not disturbing you.
I'll go right on sleeping.
Good. Miss Brooks, I've got to talk to you.
Well, pull up a cucumber sandwich and sit down.
Thank you.
Mr. Conklin, you're biting the arm of my chair.
Yes, so I am. Sorry, but you know how I get when I'm upset. Now then, Miss Brooks, we've got to have more discipline. Got to have discipline. Got to have discipline. Got to have discipline. You hear me, Miss Brooks?
I just heard 4 of you.
You're right. There are 4 of me. More discipline, Conklin. Less horseplay, Conklin. Toe the line, Conklin. And run the school in an orderly manner, Conklin.
I wish I could add just one more.
Which one?
Rest in peace, Conklin.
Enough of these pleasantries, Miss Brooks. As you know, our profession teaches us that we must learn by doing. So, here we go. Everybody up, 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 up. Rise and shine. Leave the sack.
Leave the sack? Mr. Conklin, are you telling me to get up now?
Miss Brooks, do I have to dump your bed?
No, sir, I'm getting up.
Now then, setting up exercises. Hands on shoulders. Place. Now touch the floor. 1, 2...
Sound off.
3, 4...
Open the door.
5, 6...
Why don't I pick up some sticks and beat him over the head with them?
You're nervous, Miss Brooks. Overwrought. You should get more rest.
Oh, now we're on the same side. I'll get back in bed, and you just fade into the woodwork.
Not so fast, young woman. First, we must practice our daily hair treatment. Hands on head. Place. Now then, rub. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How is that, Mr. Conklin? Am I doing it right?
Oh, it feels great, Miss Brooks. I should have 8 new hairs by Monday. Keep it up.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Time to get up, Connie.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Connie.
1.
Why are you massaging that pillow?
It's got to have 8 new hairs by morning.
Connie, wake up.
Huh? Oh, has he gone?
Has who gone?
Oh, just forget about it, Mrs. Davis. It isn't important.
On the contrary, I think it's intriguing. Has who gone?
Please, Mrs. Davis, it was just one of my nightmares.
Oh, was it a bad one, dear?
It was in Technicolor and starred Osgood Conklin. I spent half the night rehearsing how to get up in the morning. That's why I was so nervous when you woke me.
Oh, I know how dreams can affect you, dear, but you must put them out of your mind when you wake up. Why, I had some bad dreams last night myself.
You did?
Yes, I was in a jungle somewhere surrounded by lions and tigers. But if my cat Minerva walked in now, I wouldn't jump up on the chandelier.
You must have better control of your nerves than I have.
Meow.
See if we need any new bulbs up there, Mrs. Davis. Minerva, where in the world did you come from?
Oh, I haven't told her about that yet, Connie. She's only a kitten.
Well, you'd better have a little talk with her. She's been running around with a pretty old crowd.
Please, Connie, don't talk that way in front of her. Minerva's very high-strung.
Yes, I know. Lately, that cat's been as jumpy as a person.
Now, let's forget about nerves and bad dreams and hurry in for a nice breakfast. I've got a brand new secret recipe for you.
A secret recipe, Mrs. Davis?
Yes. If I tell you how I'm making your egg this morning, will you keep it under your hat?
Well, it may get my hairdo a little icky, but I'll try.
I'm making you a delicious watercress and cucumber omelet.
Oh, no. That's what started my nightmare. Besides, I haven't time to eat breakfast now, Mrs. Davis. Walter Denton's picking me up any minute.
How come Walter's calling for you today? Your car isn't in the repair shop again, is it?
No, but I decided not to drive for a while after picking up a couple of hitchhikers last Saturday.
But, Connie, why should that discourage you from driving?
I picked him up on my bumper.
Would you lean over toward my side of the car a little more, please, Miss Brooks?
Why, Walter Denton, what have you in mind?
Oh, it's nothing personal. I just want to get a good look at you in my rear view mirror. Yup, it's just as I thought. You look harassed and bedeviled. Yeah, but lovely.
Well, thank you, Walter. Sort of.
Especially your eyes. Even though there are a few temporary crow's feet caused by worry in the corners.
They're just huddling together for warmth. But, Walter, to what do I owe these backhanded gallantries?
Yeah, I was afraid you might take exception to my frankness. But I mean it all for your own good, Miss Brooks. If I have been less voluble concerning your obvious charms in the past, know, too, that I have been less voluble about the human frailties which you, like all mankind, have sometimes fallen heir to. Except, then, my plea for leniency.
I'll grant you a full pardon if you'll tell me what you're talking about.
Of course. Sometimes I get carried away by my own words.
You just used enough of them to carry away Sidney Greenstreet. Just what are you trying to wheedle out of me, Walter?
Well, now that you mention it, there is something you can do to help both of us out.
I thought so. What is it?
Oh, it's like this. Since this is a new term, you, like several of the other teachers, will be assigned to the stockroom during your free period to take inventory and give out supplies.
I see. And what does my good friend Raffles have in mind? We split a carload of pencils and retire?
Oh, no, Miss Brooks. My motives are purely altruistic. I merely want to assist an already overburdened teacher whose heart and spirit are big and willing, but whose mind and body may not long stand the strain put upon it by the forthcoming scholastic hassle.
Walter, if Olivia de Havilland gets the Academy Award, you was robbed. Now come clean. What's your cut in the projected Madison High School stockroom swindle?
Cut? Oh, Miss Brooks, I'm surprised at you. Surprised and chagrined. Oh, when I think of your sense of integrity, your honesty...
Please, Walter, if you polish this apple any more, it'll be too slippery to pick up. Now, come to the point, Walter.
Well, whoever helps out in the stockroom gets first choice of the textbooks, right?
Right. And you want to help me so you can get yourself the brand new books, nice and clean, right?
Wrong. I want the old ones with the answers already penciled in. Now, why did I let that slip out? Oh, but you can see it my way, can't you? Sometimes in the impenetrable forest of education, the path is easier seen if someone has cleared the underbrush.
Yes, but you're asking for a free ride on the bulldozer. Don't you think it would be better if you relied on your own work, Walter? After all, with an old book, you could be copying somebody else's mistakes.
Anybody's mistakes are better than mine.
Well, if you put it that way, Walter.
Gee, thanks, Miss Brooks. Well, here we are.
Thanks for the lift, Walter. I'll run along in now. Oops. Ooh.
Gosh, Miss Brooks, didn't you see that mud puddle?
course I did. I just thought it might be fun to go wading.
Can I help you scrape off the mud?
Well, I haven't time now. If I can just sneak by Mr. Conklin's office, I'll clean up when I get to my room.
But suppose you can't sneak by his office.
That, Walter, I refuse to contemplate. Believe me, if Mr. Conklin sees me tripping through the hall on these 2 lumps of mud, my name will be Shoes.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Regardless of age, skin type, or previous beauty care, doctors prove you, too, may win a lovelier complexion with Palmolive soap.
But to win this lovelier complexion, you must stop improper cleansing. Instead, use Palmolive the way doctors advise.
36 doctors, leading skin specialists, advised using Palmolive soap this way for 1,285 women with all types of skin. Young, old, dry, oily, normal. And using Palmolive soap alone, nothing but Palmolive. 2 out of 3 won lovelier complexions. Oily skin looked less oily. Dull, drab skin wonderfully brighter. Coarse-looking skin appeared finer. Even tiny blemishes, incipient blackheads, disappeared or improved. Now here's what the doctors advised.
Wash your face with Palmolive soap 3 times a day. Massage with Palmolive's wonderful beauty lather for 60 seconds each time to get its full beautifying effect. Then rinse.
Look for improvement in your complexion within 14 days. For doctors prove this way, using Palmolive alone really works. So forget all other beauty care. Get Palmolive soap and start today to win a lovelier complexion.
For loveliness all over, use big, thrifty bath-size Palmolive in your tub or shower.
And now, while our Miss Brooks is quietly sloshing down the corridor in her muddy pumps, let's look in on Mr. Conklin, Madison's beloved principal, and adjust our wavelength to his stream of consciousness.
So we come to the start of another school day. A nice muggy one at that, as if I needed bad weather to make me irritable. The teachers in this school have simply got... Now, who's that tracking her dirty shoes through our hallowed halls? Think she's going to sneak past my office, does she? Well, we'll just wait till she's even with the door. And then... Hold! Who goes there?
You, Mr. Conklin. How are things in the principal's office?
Fine, thank you. How are things in the Everglades? Just take those shoes off and step in here for a moment, Miss Brooks. I want to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Do you by any chance remember what I told the faculty at the meeting yesterday?
Oh, certainly, Mr. Conklin. I've been going over it in my mind all night. Remember?
Remember? Of course, I remember what was discussed at the meeting. The question is, do you?
Oh, indeed I do, Mr. Conklin. Every word. We've got to have more horseplay and less discipline.
What's that?
I mean, we've got to crack up. Crack down.
I won't have a repetition of last term's lack of discipline. There's only one way to run a school, and that's
in an orderly manner.
Exactly. Naturally, I need the cooperation of my staff. Hence,
everybody's got to toe the line.
Yeah. There's no reason why things shouldn't go off like clockwork. 1, 2...
Sound off! Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Conklin. It's just that I spent a rather restless night. In fact, we both did. I'm still a bit upset.
Well, there's nothing like concentrating on one's work to settle one's nerves. When is your first free period?
Right after lunch. I figured I'd get a good rest then.
I think not, Miss Brooks. I penciled you in for the stockroom at that time.
Oh. Well, they have a lot of erasers in there. Maybe we could rub me out. No, I guess not.
We are extremely short of supplies, Miss Brooks, so I want you to check every requisition very carefully before handing them out. And if for any reason you have to leave the stockroom, you know what to do?
Raise my hand?
You lock the door. Is that clear?
Yes, Mr. Conklin, I locked the door. Well, I'll be running along now.
One moment, Miss Brooks. Haven't you forgotten something?
Oh, yes. Rub 2, 3, 4. Rub.
Miss
2.
Brooks, get your fingers out of my hair.
I thought lunch period would never get here, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, me either. I'm starved. Yeah, I'll just put our tray down and sit opposite you. There. Now, it's funny how we happened to bump into each other at the entrance of the cafeteria. Quite a coincidence.
Yes, it was. Of course, I had to run a little. But I think it's nice to have someone take you to lunch, don't you?
Yes, I do, Miss Brooks. It was grand of you to ask me. Would you mind passing my soup over, please?
Here you are, Mr. Boynton.
Nothing like a good hot plate of soup to warm you up. I said that laboratory of mine's like an igloo. Even my hands are freezing.
Let's feel them. Say, they are cold.
Yours are nice and warm. How'd they get that way?
I had them in your soup. You know, it's a shame we don't have a better heating system in this school. Especially in the biology lab with all those little mice and rabbits and students.
You're right, Miss Brooks. I was talking to Mr. Jensen, the janitor, about it, and he's promised to speak to Mr. Conklin and get him to inspect the system himself. You see, I have a lot of electrical appliances in the lab now, but none of them give off much heat. I've got to have another outlet if I'm to attach any other...
Excuse me, Mr. Boynton. Hi, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Walter.
Thought we'd better be getting down to the stockroom. I don't want you to get nervous when the requisitions start pouring in.
Or the books with the answers in them start pouring out, Well, all right, Walter, we might as well get going. Will you excuse me, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, sure, Miss Brooks. And even though you asked me to lunch, I don't want you to worry about the check.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you.
I'll pay my own, Miss Brooks. You just take care of yours.
Well, the worst part of the supply rush is over, Miss Brooks. And now we can sort of take inventory of the surplus stuff that we can use. That is, you can use for your class.
Like what, Walter?
Oh, paper, pencils, staplers. They bring 40 to 50 cents on the outside. And I really need one for my schoolwork. And then there are inkwells, paper clips. This stockroom is only 2 doors from your room, Miss Brooks. Why don't I get an armful of stuff and stash it away under your desk right now?
Walter, I am an English teacher, not a fence. There's no such thing as surplus in the school system. Everything has to be requisitioned. And... Wait a minute, what's this?
That's an electric heater, Miss Brooks.
An electric heater, Why, that's just what Mr. Boynton needs for his lab. I know what. I'll hook it up right now and surprise him.
But what about a requisition?
Walter, can I trust you?
Oh, you know you can, Miss Brooks.
Of course, and I do. So if you'll keep quiet about this heater, I'll get you a requisition for a brand new stapler.
Gee, that's swell of you, Miss Brooks. Now I can take this one out of the lining of my jacket.
Well, Harriet, where's the heater I sent you for?
It wasn't there, Daddy. I looked all over the stockroom, but there wasn't a trace of it.
Did you ask Miss Brooks about it?
Miss Brooks wasn't there. Nobody was there.
And the door was open? No wonder my heater's missing. I distinctly told her. Now what? Come in.
Excuse me, Mr. Conklin, but I've got to talk to you right away.
Oh, hello, Mr. Jensen.
Hello, Harriet.
I better be going now, Daddy. I've got a class in a few minutes.
All right, Harriet. Now, what is it, Jensen? I'm rather busy right now.
Oh, this is important, sir. As custodian of the building, I feel it's my duty.
You feel what is your duty?
To tell you, sir.
To tell me what?
Please, Mr. Conklin, don't shout. That's one of the reasons.
That's one of the reasons for what?
For your high blood pressure. Now, when I was your age...
Never mind that now. What do you want to see me about?
Biological laboratory. The furnace vent isn't large enough to heat that big room. It's so cold in there, Mr. Boynton's had to put earmuffs on the rabbits. We've got to build another outlet.
Outlets cost money, Jensen. We'll requisition another heater. Meanwhile, I've got to find the one
that When you got to put earmuffs on rabbits, brother, you're in trouble. Besides, if an electric heater is hooked onto the present wiring setup, it can cause a short.
Well, tell me about it another time.
And even worse than a short, Mr. Conklin, it might start a fire.
I don't like to censure you, Mr. Jensen, but you are an alarmist.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going down to that stockroom and wait in back of it for Miss Brooks to return. I'll teach her to leave doors open.
I'm glad we set up the heater in here before Mr. Boynton came back, Walter.
Yeah, he'll sure be surprised, I bet. Come on, Miss Brooks. Oh, there's the next class. I've got you in English this period.
That's a coincidence, Walter. I've got you, too. Oh, Walter, here's the stockroom, and the door is still ajar. Didn't you lock it when we left?
No, I thought you did.
Give me that key. There. Mr. Conklin would have a fit if he found this door open. All right, class. Your next question is as follows. In The Mill on the Floss, George Eliot writes about a gentleman who is often compared with a gentleman in Silas Marner. Who is that gentleman?
Are you talking about a fictional gentleman or George Eliot himself?
Himself? Walter, it happens that she wasn't exactly a gentleman.
So what? He was a darn good writer.
Next question. Goodness, that heating system is really noisy.
Why, it's the voice. It's coming out of the vent here.
What? Quiet a minute. Let me listen.
Hello there! Can you hear me?
Sure. What time's the break set for? Who are you?
It sounds like Daddy. Daddy, can you hear us?
Yes, get me out of here.
He must be stuck in the furnace.
Nonsense, Walter. He was going to inspect the heating system. He's probably just stuck in a pipe somewhere. In a pipe somewhere? Oh, I'll go call the fire department. Harriet, you stay here and chat with your father. Why, Mr. Boynton, what made you ring the gong for a fire drill?
Well, I heard you calling the fire department, and I thought...
Oh, but that's not for a fire. Mr. Conklin's stuck in a pipe somewhere, and I just called the department to get him out.
Well, most of the kids are out in the street by now. I better go keep them in line. A little extra preparedness won't hurt any. Stuck in a pipe?
Oh, I'd better get back to my own room now. Uh-oh, here come the firemen.
Well, here we are. Where's the fire?
Right this way, Chief.
Here, come on, men.
There isn't any fire, really. You see, it's just that somebody's caught in a pipe.
Caught in a pipe? For this, I left a hand with 100 aces and a double P-knuckle in it?
Oh, please do something. My daddy's stuck somewhere. You've got to get him out.
Well, where is he?
Well, he was coming in over this vent here very clearly.
All right, let's get at this thing with our picks, man.
Oh, my. Walter, there's enough confusion around here as it is.
Okay.
Go tell Mr. Boynton to send all the children home immediately.
Okay, Miss Brooks.
Keep going, man. We've got to get him out of that pipe.
I wonder where most of them are. Oh, what's that? That seems to be coming from the stockroom. Hey, it is in here. Well, let's see now. Did Miss Brooks give me back the key? Oh, yeah. Here it is.
Walter Denton, can I lay this crime at your door?
No, sir. 2 doors down. I'll see you later. I got orders to go home with the others.
Well, we'll find out about this. What's going on here, Miss Brooks? How could... Who did... When did he... What is...
Please, I'll explain it all later. Right now, we've got to get Mr. Conklin out of this pipe. He's... Mr. Conklin!
Oh, Daddy, thank goodness you're safe.
Hello, Harriet.
Stop that banging! What do you mean, stop? The principal's got himself stuck and we got to get the knucklehead out.
For your information, I'm the knucklehead who's stuck. I'm the principal of this school.
Mr. Conklin, how did you get out of the pipe?
I was never in the pipe.
But we heard you. You yelled, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, what's the idea of yelling, "Get me out of here," if you're not stuck in here?
I was locked in the stockroom. Obviously, this heater vent connects with the vent in there, and as any idiot could figure out...
Well, how does any idiot get himself locked in a stockroom?
That will be all of that. I've had enough abuse from the fire department.
Yes, we've had enough abuse from the fire department.
Quiet, Miss Brooks. Now then, firemen, please remove your pickaxe from the school woodwork.
Well, you needn't get so huffy. After all, it only makes a little hole. Here, I'll take it out.
needed a larger classroom.
Now then, Miss Brooks, I want some explanations, and I want them fast.
Yes, sir.
Who locked me in the storeroom? Where are all the students? Who called the fire department?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. Don't you realize that these false alarms cost the city money? Now we gotta pack all our stuff up.
What are all you firemen standing around for? Why don't you do something?
Relax, Mr. Boynton. Mr. Conklin's out now. There's nothing left to do.
Nothing left to do, but my lab is on fire.
What?
That's more like it. Come on,
Well, Miss Brooks, that leaves just you and me. You and me and one more question.
What's that, Mr. Conklin?
Did you happen to run across an electric heater in the stockroom?
Yes, I did.
And did you happen to connect it anywhere? Like Mr. Boynton's laboratory, for instance?
Yes, I did.
A funny thing about that. I was told by Mr. Jensen just this morning that another electrical appliance on that circuit would cause a fire. Now, you've got to be punished, Miss Brooks. You hear me?
You've got to be punished!
Where are you going, Miss Brooks?
To take a cold shower. This is the longest nightmare I've ever had.
Returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you Kay Daumit's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream. Not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen. Soft, manageable. Gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo and be a
dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, it wasn't much of a fire, and as soon as they put it out, one of the firemen got a hook and ladder, climbed up, and brought Mr. Conklin's blood pressure down. When he was slightly more rational, he called me into his office again.
Miss Brooks, since Mr. Boynton failed to remind me about the electric hazard in the biology laboratory, I have decided that he is almost as guilty as you are.
Oh, but Mr. Conklin, he
Silence. You, Miss Brooks, will stay after school and help Mr. Boynton clean up the debris those firemen left behind. I don't care if it keeps you both here all evening.
Mr. Conklin, is that my punishment for starting the fire?
Exactly.
Got a match?
Our Miss Brooks Show, brought to you by Palmolive Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch.
Men, here is actual, factual proof of more comfortable, actually smoother shaves by using Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. 1,251 men tried the Palmolive Lather way to shave described on the tube, and no matter how they shaved before, 3 out of 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Try Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. See if you don't get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves the Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream way.
Listen to our Miss Brooks next week over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
WEAF, New York. Eastern Daylight Saving Time begins at 2 a.m. tomorrow, so don't forget to turn your clocks ahead 1 hour.
pack of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir. Oh, just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You never guessed, but Avalon costs you less.
So why not always travel on with
Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time. With greetings from Red Foley, Jeanette, Phil Davis, and the Avalon Orchestra, and the only man in radio who has ears like steam shovels, they pick up all the dirt, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say, Del, where do you get those corny introductions?
Well, I don't know, Red. I guess it's the farmer in the dell.
That's Del King, folks. He's a little tired. Last night he put his mustache up in 10 curlers and didn't sleep a wink. Boy, what a mustache.
Hey, Skelton.
Yeah?
Careful you don't get arrested wearing that suit.
Hiya, microphone. What do you mean? Do you think I'll get arrested wearing this suit?
Well, you're dressed to kill.
You like it, huh?
Yeah, it fits your personality. Plain and simple.
Oh, microphone.
Hey, have you been crying or did you wash your face?
I've been swimming. Boy, was that water cold. But it didn't bother me. I went right in. I never did find out who pushed me. But whoever it was, they did a good job. I did a swan dive. It was so graceful that 2 seagulls asked me for my autograph. I stayed in the water for about 20 minutes. I'd have come out sooner, but there were some girls on the beach, and I had to run in my bathing suit stockings. Not only that, I had big bags in the knees of my bathing suit. I stayed under the water so long that 2 fish swam by and offered me a worm. But the water was so cold that I finally had to come out. When the folks saw my red hair, blue bathing suit, wait, I loused that up, didn't I? Wait a minute, I finally had to come out. They're all good, if I can only find it. I was in the water so long that 2 fish swam by. I said that, didn't I? That's why I had it. When I came out of the water and the folks on my red hair, white bathing suit, and blue skin, they saluted me. I think it'd been just as well I'd have went on. But I wasn't the only one in swimming. Edna Stillwell was there. She didn't exactly have on a bathing suit. She borrowed my handkerchief and said a prayer. Del King went in swimming with that big mustache of his and got mating calls from a walrus. Phil Davis. Oh, you'll have to quit, lady. We got another program coming on right back of it. Oh, but we appreciate those laughs. Phil Davis was in swimming, and he had on a leopard skin bathing suit. He looked like the Queen Mary in a sarong. He did a high dive in the water and got a nasty letter from the Flood Control Committee. I love to lay around out on the beach and get that sunshine. In fact, I was so brown that 3 people came up and congratulated me on winning the roper fight. Well, I think I've been out here splashing around long enough, so I'll wait out and let Red Foley dive in if we've come a long way together. Come on in, fella. The water's fine.
Come a long way together since we met on the old village green. We've weathered all kinds of weather, and to me you are still sweet 16. Why care if our hair turns to silver? We still have love to keep our hearts aglow. We've come a long way together, and we still have a long way to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you saw a $5 bill lying in the street, you wouldn't just pass it up, would you? No, sirree, you'd grab it up in a hurry. Well, friends, that's only a small part of the money you can save by switching to Avalon's, the quality cigarette that costs 3 to 5 cents less than other popular price brands. Yes, that consistent and repeated saving of 3 to 5 cents on every pack you smoke turns into many, many dollars in a surprisingly short time. And remember, it's money that you wouldn't otherwise have. Extra money to buy things you need and want. And now about the quality of Avalon cigarettes. We'll match them against any of the popular price brands on the market today, because Avalons have an exclusive quality that can't be surpassed. They're 100% union-made from a mild, mellow blend of choice Turkish and domestic tobaccos. As fine a quality tobacco as ever went into a cigarette. That's why you'd never guess they cost you less. Never has a price so low, but more high quality in a cigarette. Give Avalon's a trial tonight. Bob Strong said he got a big kick out of making this arrangement, and now it's all yours from Stars in Your Eyes. Friends, we forgot to mention that Red Skelton is also the only man in radio who doubles as night watchman and janitor for a bank. As we look in at the Hope and Trust Company, we find our vice president in charge of mops busy with the banking business.
Hello there. That you, J.B.? This is Skelton at the Hope and Trust Company. Now, about that matter of foreign exchange, make my order Danish pastry instead of French pastry, will you? Okay, let's see. What was I doing here? Oh, yeah, I was going over these books with a dust rag. Uh-oh, somebody's at the door. Who's there? Who's there? You're going to tell me who's there, or am I going to have to run for my life? Oh, it's Miss Stillwell.
Well, it's about time you opened the door.
All ready for work? Come in, take off your things.
Look, I'm a secretary, not a fan dancer.
Yeah. Here, let me take your coat and...
What are you laughing at?
Somebody dropped a pot of geraniums on your head and it stuck there.
That's my new hat.
Yeah. Oh. Well, we got to get some work done here. You take the second floor, and I do mean with a scrub brush.
Scrubbing. This is swell. Secretary to a night watchman and janitor. There's only one job worse than mine.
What's that?
Yours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? Well, my uncle started out as a night watchman 30 years ago, and he's been pretty lucky.
Lucky? How?
He still got the job. Now, hurry and clean up. The president of the bank just called up and said he was going to come down here. He's going to run down here tonight to set that lock on the vault. Hey, I wonder who that is. Can't be the president. No president could run that fast, even for a third term.
Well, who is that funny-looking goon?
I don't know. It must be the president. Hiya, Prez.
Stand where you are. Don't you move.
Now, wait a minute, Prez. Now, put that gun away. We've never met before, but I'm your vice president in charge of liquid assets. I fill the inkwell.
Oh, you're the vice president, huh?
Yeah.
I suppose the dame with the funny-looking hat is Frances Poikins.
It's Miss Stillwell. Meet the president of our bank.
The bank? Oh, sure, I'm the president of the bank.
Well, he looks suspicious to me.
How can you tell? He's wearing a mask. Well, I suppose you want to fix the lock on the vault, eh, Prez?
The lock? What's wrong with it?
Well, don't you remember? He just called up and said you forgot to set the time lock.
Oh, yeah, sure. And I bring me tools along, too. Yeah. You see, here's me blowtorch, Jimmy, and drilling stuff.
Okay, Fred. Now, if you need any help, let me know, will you?
I sure will, chum.
Yeah. Hey, he's a nice fellow, that guy. They say he's terrific with figures.
I'll bet the only figures he ever saw were at Minsky's.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever saw the president of a bank with a Jimmy.
Well, what's wrong with that? Even the president of the United States has a Jimmy. Wait, I'll answer that phone, man. Hello.
Listen, I want to come down and deposit my cow.
Yeah. You want to deposit a cow?
Yeah, I want to get the milk certified. Will you do that for me, pal?
Okay, fella. It's in the bag.
Look, is that a policeman trying to get in here?
I don't know. Hey, is that a policeman trying to get in?
Well, it ain't Jesse James.
Hercules, a policeman. Come on in.
Ah, little boy blue coat. Why are you out of breath, Herky?
All those darn dead-end kids chased me 5 blocks.
What did you do to them, Herky?
Nothing. They stole the pie, and I wanted my cut. Not only that, those kids get my goat.
They get your goat? Here it comes, folks. They get your goat, eh? You mean they steal your billy?
I guess you have to be pretty brave to be a policeman.
Brave? Why, I captured 5 desperate killers with my policeman's club.
Weren't you scared?
Oh, goodness, no. There's 45 members in the club.
I'll bet you just go around looking for trouble, don't you, Herky?
Oh, I'll say I do, Mr. Skelton. Why, a few minutes ago, a car passed me going 45 miles an hour, and I said, "Hey, where do you think you're going? To a fire?" And was I embarrassed. Why? Why? It was a fire truck. Well, I gotta go now and see if I can find out who shot that man they left hanging over the electric sign.
You mean you're following a clue?
No, I'm following Dick Tracy.
Hey, Herky, you forgot your gun. Get a load of this gun. Say, I wonder how the Prez is making out with that time lock. Hey, how you doing there, Prez?
Okay, chum. I'd be hitting the jackpot soon.
Well, look out for that bottle of soda pop I got in there. I'm keeping it cool on frozen assets.
Well, put that gun down. You'll scare him to death.
Okay, you having trouble, Prez?
Oh, I can't seem to get the door this wall open.
Well, I can open it. I wrote the combination down on a piece of paper.
Say, chum, that's swell. Where is it? In your pocket?
No, I was afraid I'd lose it, so I put it in the vault. But don't worry, Prez. I think I remember the combination. Let's see now. I was trying to think there for a minute. Oh, yeah. Right, 27.
Right, 27.
Left, 42.
Left, 42.
Right, 19.
Right, 19.
Left.
Oh, I'll die if somebody gets bingo before me.
What a dopey president that guy is.
Mr. Skelton, I believe.
Well, the Phantom of Banknight. I always knew you belonged in a vault.
Yes. And this is your pretty little secretary.
Yeah.
My, but you look lovely. You have lips like petals.
If you say bicycle pedals, I'll clip you.
Hey, what are you doing here anyway?
Me? I'm president of this bank. J. Teppington Tin Box, the third.
The third? You mean there's two other guys look like you, Lab? You ain't the president of this bank.
Oh, but I am. See the gray hairs in my toupee?
Yeah? What's the idea of gray hairs in your toupee?
So the board of directors will think I worry.
Say, if you're the president of the bank, who's that guy over there working on the time lock?
Well, I could be Bulldog Drummond, but I'm Benny the Bum.
Benny the Bum? Remember me? Steve the Snicker.
Stevie! What are you doing here?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm president of this bank.
Yeah? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm robbing the joint.
Well, how interesting. As a matter of fact, I'm absconding with the funds.
You wouldn't dare.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I'm splitting with Benny the Bum. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Mr. Skelton, you can help yourself, too. It's just some old stuff we were going to send back to the mint.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Hey, Mr. Skelton,
What?
the best thing you can do is stop these guys.
What's second best? I mean, stick 'em up, you guys. And if either of you move, I'll die.
Look, here comes Herky.
Officer Herky, go tell the policeman to call me a cop.
Oh, here I come. Oh, goodness, a hold-up. Here I go.
Come here. Put the handcuffs on him, Herky. Don't stand there shaking like me.
There you are, you two rascals. Oh, Mr. Skelton, thank heavens that's over.
Yeah.
You know what you held them up with?
Yeah.
A water pistol.
I know it was a water gun. The reason I was so scared is because it wasn't loaded.
Jeanette says the path of true love never runs smooth. Here's what happens when the masquerade is over.
Your eyes don't shine like they used to shine, and the thrill is gone when your lips meet mine. I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love. Your words don't mean what they used to mean. They were once inspired, now they're just routine. I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love. I guess I'll have to play Pagliacci and get myself a clown's disguise and learn to laugh like Pagliacci with tears in my eyes. You look the same, you're a lot the same, but my heart says no, you're not the same. I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love.
Hello there, Skelton.
Yeah, who are you?
Oh, don't be silly. I'm Del King.
I never heard of you.
Listen here, don't give me that stuff. I'm Del King, and this is the spot where I tell about Avalons.
Avalon?
Avalons, the quality cigarettes that cost 3 to 5 cents less than other popular price brands.
I don't remember your name, but your phrase is familiar.
Listen, you must have a case of amnesia.
You're nuts. I never touched the stuff.
You have amnesia, the forgetting sickness.
Yeah?
Now try and remember now. Here's where I say, friends, when you buy Avalons, you get a cigarette 100% union-made.
Oh, yeah.
Blended from the world's finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos.
Yeah.
To give you an extra smooth, delightfully mild, thoroughly enjoyable smoke.
Oh, sure.
Now, do you remember?
Remember what?
Avalons. They're 3 to 5 cents less than other popular price brands, but you'd never guess.
They cost you less?
I knew that would get you. That shows that you're recovering.
From what?
Your forgetting sickness, your amnesia.
Who's got magnesia? Magnesia.
Oh, I can't be bothered. Now remember, friends, the next time ask for Avalon cigarettes.
And don't forget your change.
Okay, what'd I buy? Oh, wait a minute, my money. Somebody's taking my dough. Where's my money? Come back here. Wait a minute. Where am I at? Oh, hiya, Del. Let's make a commercial.
Oh, some other time.
Hey, Del, come on back here. Mr. Avalon, he's only kidding. Hey, Del, Mr. Avalon wants you. Come here.
I'm not interested.
Hey, you better come. Somebody stop him there. Come on, Del. You got to make an announcement about Avalon cigarettes. Del, I got enough thing coming up,
Take me back to my boots and saddle. Let me see that general store. Let me ride that range once more. Give me my boots and saddle. Let me ramble along the prairie. Open steers on old barrettes with my buddies Slim and Ted. Give me my boots and saddle. Got a hankering to be with a banjo on my knee, strumming a pretty western tune. There's a gal in Cherokee and she's waiting there for me, waiting beneath the Texas moon. So take me back to my boots and saddle. Let me greet his sleighs and more on the ranch where I
was Red Foley and the Avalon Chorus with their stirring interpretation of Boots and Saddle. Say, Skelton, have you got a saga for this week?
Yes, sir, boy. We got a pip. Napoleon Bonaparte, Skelton.
Oh, swell. What's it all about?
Well, the time's April the 18th, 1815, and the place is Waterloo. Now, Napoleon Skelton is lying on the battlefield, and he's very sick. You know, he's just lost a big battle. And Lady Lou, better known as the Countess of Waleska, is standing right beside Napoleon. And the Lady Lou says, "Do you want anything, Napoleon?" And Napoleon says, "Yes, Waterloo." Bad, huh?
Let's save it for next week.
Yeah, what do we do this week?
Well, that's where I come in. I've written a little sketch.
Yeah, a sketch?
Yes, it's a cross between a skit and a sketch, so I call it a sketch.
Oh, for a minute I thought there was something wrong with your English.
You'll like my sketch. Now, the scheme takes place...
The scheme?
Yes, the scheme takes place in the Ozarks. You know, in a sketch you have schemes. Now, the scheme is in the Ozarks Mountains.
Mountains?
I like mountains better than mountains, don't you?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Mountains make a much better scheme for a sketch. Don't you think so, Del?
Oh, slow, I blink so.
You can't do a play that hasn't been rehearsed.
Well, the listeners have never heard a play that hasn't been rehearsed, so we'll let them know how they sound before they are rehearsed.
Okay.
So here's your part.
Okay, you set the scene, will you, Del?
All right, Red. Now, what are we going to use for music?
I'll fix it. Okay, Phil, play some mountain music, and an octave faster than that last number you played.
This ain't going to help my Crosley any.
The time, the hottest day in August. The place, Warm Mattress, Arkansas. That's just above Hot Springs.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Is this in the South or the Corn Belt? Where are we at?
As the scene opens, we find Ida May talking to Cicero, her boyfriend, who's been married before and is considered the laziest man in the mountains.
Ain't love a wonderful thing?
Yeah.
When you got married the first time, did you feel something cold running up and down your back?
Nope. Her pappy held the gun pretty steady. Wait a minute. You can't do things like that on the radio. What are you talking about?
Well, did you love her?
Yes, I love the ground she stood on, till I found out there was a mortgage on the place. Man, it sure is warm, isn't it? Would you mind taking that there handkerchief of yours and wipe the perspiration from my brow?
You're the laziest man I ever saw.
I ain't lazy. I'm just curbing my energy.
Well, you better. Why, you're so skinny, if you had a little fuzz on you, they could use you for a stovepipe cleaner.
Yeah. Sure is hot standing here in the sun, ain't it? Say, Ida May, you see that nice shady spot over there under that tree?
Uh-huh.
I'd give anything in the world if I was sitting there.
Well, it's getting late, ain't it?
Yep.
Ain't you getting hungry?
Yep.
Well, ain't you going to go home?
Nope.
Why?
I'm standing in a bear trap. Oh, wait a minute. Get me out of here, will you, Frank?
Well, friends, remember the next time when you ask for Avalon cigarettes,
don't forget your change.
We hope you've enjoyed tonight's show, and we cordially invite you to be with us next Saturday evening when the Brown & Williamson Tobacco Corporation will again present Avalon Time. If your community does not observe daylight saving time, please tune in 1 hour earlier and listen to Red Skelton Tuesday night at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time when he appears as guest on the Doghouse program, a new program that we think you'll like. Del King speaking. Good night, everybody. Avalon Time originated in the studios of the Nation Station and reached you through the National Broadcasting Company.
WEAF, New York, 9 p.m., BULOVA, Boulevard Watch Time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is book. B-O-O-K.
Oh, you're always saying that.
You bet your life. the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
I thought he was still hibernating for the winter. Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples. George Fenneman, who's supposed to try for it?
We invited some nightclub hat check girls and some ballpark vendors to the program tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Betty Schumann and Mr. Al Weissman. And here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, you beautiful people, for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. I mean you, Betty. Yeah? And if you say the secret word, you'll split $100 between you. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mr. Weissman. Oh, I've seen you at the ballpark.
Thank you.
What ballpark do you do your hawking? Gilmore, huh?
Hollywood Ballpark.
Hollywood, yeah. What kind of items do you sell to the ball fans?
Peanuts, Cracker Jacks, soda, popcorn, cushions, programs, novelties.
What kind of novelties?
Flags, hats, baseballs.
You mean if you get hot peanuts, that's a novelty? Huh? Tell me, Al, is there much difference between the taste of your cushions and your popcorn?
All in the colors.
And Betty, Schumann?
Schumann.
Schumann, huh? You're a mighty pretty girl, Betty, huh?
Thank you.
At what nightclub are you employed, Betty?
At Ciro's.
Pretty expensive joint, isn't it?
Ciro's isn't a joint.
I'm sorry. Well, it's a pretty expensive honky-tonk, isn't it?
Ciro's isn't a honky-tonk either.
Well, at least we agree it's expensive, don't we?
Maybe for some people.
That's true. Some people do find it expensive. Only the people who go there. What do you do at Ciro's?
I'm a combination hat check and cigarette girl.
Well, you've got a very nice combination. Well, tell me, Betty, do women check their hats in your honky-tonk?
Very rarely, mostly coats.
What kind?
Oh, chinchillas, mink, sables, Persian lamb.
You mean you have all those animals in that little room? Why do women check those valuable coats? I should think they'd never want to let them out of their sight.
Well, if they were to take them to the tables with them and they got up to dance, they'd be left all alone.
You mean some skunk would come along and go away with the mink? Do people check other things besides hats and coats?
Occasionally.
Do any of your customers ever check their husbands?
No, but I had a man check a toupee once and a woman check a girdle.
I don't know why a woman would want to check a girdle. If she stayed in a nightclub long enough, she'd be strapped anyway. Why would a woman check a girdle in a nightclub, Betty?
I don't know, sir. I didn't ask her. It wasn't any of my business.
Well, I consider it mine. The next time a woman checks her girdle in your place, you tell her I want to know why. Now, how much do you charge for checking a hat?
There is no charge.
There isn't, eh? What do you mean, no charge? In a nightclub, they charge for everything, including the air you're choking in. No charge at all?
There is no charge. You tip whatever you wish.
I see. Whatever tip I want, eh?
That's right.
Suppose I left an asparagus tip. Now, Frankfurter, take me out of the ball game. Do you get many tips like Betty gets at Ciro's?
What, from those baseball fans?
I have never heard venom expressed in such simple terms. I didn't realize you were so sensitive, Al. I thought perhaps occasionally you got a foul tip. I thought occasionally you got a foul tip, you know. Now, what kind of a costume do you wear, Betty? And make it brief.
Well, it's strapless. It's very short, and we wear long opera hose.
Well, that's brief enough, I guess. Doesn't an outfit like that make people stare?
Well, yes. Mostly the women.
You mean the men don't stare?
Yes, but in a different way.
Naturally. Well, a man wants to see what happens to his hat, that's all. Well, you two have taught me a lot about night work. Now, let's see if you're going to be the ones who get the chance at the $1,500 question. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life.
When you take your car for service to a DeSoto Plymouth dealers, notice all the special tools and equipment in the shop. The equipment that helps the expert mechanics do better, faster work on your car. Find out also about the 2 great new cars he sells. There's a brilliant new DeSoto, truly a magnificent car, truly a new car, front to back. From its impressive full-width radiator grille to its smart-looking, newly designed rear end. You'll be amazed by all of its new features. You'll enjoy driving it, for DeSoto is the car that lets you drive without shifting. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the beautiful car that likes to be compared.
Now, let's see if you two will get a chance at the $1,500. Send them and bring them up to date on the rules.
Each of our 3 couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You select the drinking songs as your category. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 are you going to try?
10.
All right, $10. Here's a song everyone should know. Play, Jerry.
Sweet Adeline.
Sweet Adeline.
And they're on their way. They have $30.
$30. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 are you going to try?
20.
$20. What is the name of this song? What do you think, kids? There's a tavern in the town.
They now have $10.
That's a shame. All right, now here's your third question. You have $10. How much are you going to try now?
5.
$5? Give me the title of this song. Okay, Jerry.
Whip and Poop.
The Whip and Poop song.
Oh, on the way again. They're now at $15.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 15 will you try?
All of it.
All of it. Shoot the works. Give me the title of this song. Take a guess, kid. This little brown jug. I'm going to give you another chance to make some money. Get this one right, and you win $10. Now, think hard. Who was buried in Grant's tomb?
Grant.
General Grant is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, don't go away. You may get a chance at the big question. Now, before I forget it, I want to thank George Rosen and Weekly Variety for the special showmanship citation they gave us last week. It was a very high honor, and all of us on the show are sincerely grateful. Gentlemen, you may proceed.
Groucho.
Yes.
The secret word is still book.
It is.
Perhaps the next couple will say it. We invited some hospital dietitians to the program, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Shirley Phillips. Her partner is a married man from the audience, Mr. Charlie Harvey, and here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 between you. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Miss Phillips, Shirley Phillips.
That's right.
For a dietitian, you're a pretty tasty dish. Where are you from, Shirley?
Cedars Lebanon Hospital.
Were you born there?
No, I'm from really from San Francisco.
Oh. And Mr. Harvey?
Yes, sir.
Are you one of the Harvey girls? Where are you from, Charlie?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
What sort of work do you do?
I'm a former gravedigger.
why did you quit? Is everybody dead? Why did you quit, huh?
I had a better chance for a job out here, so I came out here.
What are you doing now, Johnny?
I'm a warehouse man now, sir.
What are your duties as a warehouse man?
Well, I'm filling crates now. Shipping clerk.
Same job, but you're indoors, that's all. You are married, Charlie?
Yes, sir.
How'd you meet your wife?
Well, she was working in Kelly's Oyster House in Philadelphia, reading tea leaves and palms.
Reading tea leaves in an oyster house? Huh?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Well, she read my tea leaves in there one time and told me that I was going to marry a widow with 2 children. And a while back later, I came back over there and I says, well, I've looked all over town and I can't find a widow with 2 children. And she says, well, you've been looking at her every time you come into Kelly's Oyster House. She was a girl.
Well, did you marry her just so you wouldn't make a liar out of her? Is that... Why, you're not married, huh, Shirley?
No, I'm not.
Why aren't you married?
I'm not ready to get married.
How long will it take you, huh? Is that the only reason you're not married?
No. But it seems like every time I meet somebody, either they're not interested in me or I'm not interested in them.
Well, don't be discouraged. Someday you'll meet a man and neither one of you will be interested. And then you'll have something in common and you'll probably get married. Just, what do you do on your job, Miss Phillips?
Well, I write diets and I check trays.
Do you make up the diet for the entire hospital?
No, I don't.
Who does that, Shirley?
The head dietitian.
The head dietitian? You mean there's a diet just for heads? Huh? Has anything unusual ever happened in your kitchen, Shirley, like putting something appetizing on the tray? Apparently, there are a lot of ex-patients here tonight.
Well, sometimes for breakfast, we've had some people order cheese blintzes and Finn and Hattie.
Cheese blintzes and Finn and Hattie, huh? Well, it's the same plot as Abe's Irish Rose, huh? Has anything embarrassing ever happened to you, Charlie?
Well, not embarrassing. I wouldn't say embarrassing, but I was
Well, what would you say, huh?
I was called out of bed at 1 o'clock in the morning to go back to the cemetery.
Were you alive at the time?
Well, I was the foreman of the gravediggers, and I was the only one that had the key to the tool house. It seems that some fellow had gone through the...
Somebody was eager to get buried, huh?
No, it seems like he had a few too many, and he was walking through the cemetery and fell in an open grave.
Just looking at you has made me hungry, Shirley. How much food should I eat in a day?
Well, that all depends upon the type of work that you do. A laborer should have about 3,000 calories, and a white-collar worker about 2,200 calories.
Well, I'm a white-collar worker, but my laundry didn't come back. Huh? Now, answer my question. How much should I eat, Shirley?
Well, what do you do?
Well, I can do 85 and the wind's with me. I not only can do 85, I am 85. Now, answer my question, Shirley. How much should I eat?
Well, looks like you sit down most of the time, so... I'd say about 1,500 calories.
That's about one meal a day, isn't it? Is there any food that's on most diets?
Oh, I'd say meat or milk.
In most cases, you say milk is good for the figure?
Yes.
Have you ever looked at a cow? Well, it's been nice talking to you two, and as soon as we're through here, Shirley, you and I will go out and have a banana split and some mashed potatoes. Now, let's see how well you'll make out in the battle for the $1,500 question. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. Run your $20 into more than the other couples, and you get a chance at the big question. I can't tell you how much our first couple won, but Fenneman's off stage to remind our listeners.
The nightclub girl and the ballpark vendor lost all their money, so these people have a clear field.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected well-known husbands and wives as your category. Is that right?
Yes,
Now, how much of the 20 are you going to try?
10.
David O. Selznick is married to a famous actress. What is her name?
Teresa Wright.
Do you agree with that? I'm sorry. It's Jennifer Jones.
Yeah.
And they have $10 now.
All right. Well, you're down to $10. Anyhow, you're going for $1,500 tonight, and that's the big money. Now, how much of the 10 are you going to try?
$5.
$5. Who is actress Lynn Fontanne married to?
Alfred Lund.
Alfred Lund is right.
Now they have $15.
All right, now you got $15. Here's your third question. How much of the 15 you going to try?
10.
10. Who is designer Gilbert Adrian married to?
Janet Gaynor.
Janet Gaynor is right.
They're climbing. They have $25.
Well, you're the gainer now. Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 25 are you going to try?
20.
Who is Lily Pons married to?
Andre Castellano.
Andre Castellano.
And they wind up with $45.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, we'll soon know who gets the chance at the $1,500 question.
Folks, I don't have to tell you that summer is almost here.
No, Fenneman, but you will anyway.
And summer means that the best days to drive your car are right on top of it.
I wish you'd drive more carefully.
I will, Groucho, and more enjoyably, too. Because now's the time when I and thousands like me...
I won't comment on that horrible thought.
Now's the time when we smart car owners get set for those fine summer weekends and for vacations by visiting our DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Fenneman, that's your idea of a vacation? Your family visiting a DeSoto Plymouth dealer?
Well, the time your car spends at a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's, folks, will make every mile you drive this summer more enjoyable.
That's true.
More economical.
Yes, it is.
Safer.
Yeah, and safer.
For expert service and checkup at a fair price. See your DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow.
All right, Fenneman, who's leading in the race for the $1,500 question?
Well, the dietitian and the married man are ahead with $45. And the secret word is still book. We invited some sets of identical twins to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Janny and Joey Pope. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kiddies, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 between you. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Identical twins, eh? I'm glad somebody told me. Otherwise, I might have accused one of you of being up here twice just to confuse me. Which one are you?
I'm Janny.
You're Janny, yeah?
Yes.
How do you do? And which one are you?
I'm Joey.
You're Joey.
Uh-huh.
You're Joey Ha-Ha? That's an Indian name, huh? Is your name Janny Ha-Ha? I've heard of Minnie Ha-Ha, but you two certainly look alike, and I think you should know each other. Janie, shake hands with Joey, huh? Now, don't anybody move. Stay right where you are. Now, let's see. Janie, how old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
Joey, you are Joey, huh?
Yes.
Since you're identical twins, you're exactly the same age?
Yes, I'm 22.
You're 22 and she's 20?
No, I'm 20 also.
Oh, that's like Joey Ha-Ha, huh? Janie, are you working?
No, I'm going to UCLA.
And Joey, where do you work?
I go to UCLA also.
How can your teachers tell you apart?
Well, when we're together, they can tell us apart, and when we're not together, they can't tell us apart.
Why do I get involved in things like that? I'm not a kid anymore, and you kids are not helping either. Janie, would you mind going over what she just said, slowly and succinctly?
Well, what she means is that when we're separated, they can't tell us apart, but when we're together, it's easier to tell us apart.
Cocktails, anybody? Joey, does everybody have the same trouble I have?
I'm Janny, that's Joey.
Oh, this is... Answer my question. Does everybody have my trouble?
Well, yes, I guess. What's your trouble?
Well, I'll tell you, Mrs. Anthony, I come from a family of 5 boys. I was standing here 5 minutes ago minding my own business when suddenly I went off my rocker. Now, Janie, do you have any boyfriends? That's you, Janie, over there.
Yes, I have
How do
one.
your boyfriends tell you apart?
Well, they have a lot of trouble telling us apart. But on the other hand, we have trouble telling them apart because they're also identical twins. We all get mixed up.
Have you ever played any tricks on your boyfriends?
Well, for instance, one day I walked into class and this boy ran up to me and said, Joey, and I didn't want to say I was Janie. I said, yes. And he said, can you go out Saturday night? And I said, I'd love to because Joey hadn't made a date for Saturday night. So Joey walked in and I told her and she already made a date, so I had to go out with him. And so we both happened to end up at the same place, and I introduced the boy, and he said, well, which one is Joey? And we wouldn't tell them, and they still don't know to this day.
I guess it's just as well. Huh? Have you any experiences like that you'd care to relate, Joey? That's you, Joey, over here.
Well, in high school, we had quite a lot of fun. Janie was better in geometry, and I was better in history. And I flunked a geometry test once, and so I had to make it up after school. So Janie went and took it in my place. She knew all the answers, and so she brought the blue book up to the teacher.
Joey, that did it. You just said book, and since that's the secret word for tonight, you and your partner split $100 in cash, compliments of the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
Oh, thank you.
Now, where were we when you dented my checkbook?
Well, I brought the blue book up to the teacher, and as I was handing it to her, we both wear different rings, and I forgot to change my ring, and that's the only way the teacher could tell us apart, and she knew I had a pearl ring, and this girl that brought it up had a ruby ring, so she caught us in the act, but she was very nice about it.
Just kicked you out of school, Well, Joey, you two not only look exactly alike, but you even dress exactly alike. Do you always dress the same?
Oh, yes.
What about boyfriends? Do you like the same boyfriends?
Oh, no. We've been very lucky about it.
Yeah. Your taste is quite...
very
different.
much the same, twins.
But the twins are alike, so it doesn't make any difference who goes with who.
You don't care which one you get, huh?
No.
I guess when you've seen one twin, you've seen them all. Well, it's certainly been nice looking at you girls. Now we're going to see if 2 heads are better than 1. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat the other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question. I can't tell you how much the other 2 couples won, but Fenneman's going to remind our listeners.
The dietitian and the husband are ahead with $45.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected animals and birds of fact and fiction as your category. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Now you have $20. How much are you going to try?
$10, Harpo.
$10. Harpo, right? My name happens to be Al Ritz. All right, Janie, that's you over here.
No, I'm Joey.
Oh, no, not now. From now on, you're Janie, huh? And you're one of the Dolly sisters. You're going to try $10, and what animal do you associate with Mrs. O'Leary?
Cow.
A cow is right.
Good start. They have $30.
All right, now you got $30. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 will you try?
20.
What bird do you associate with Edgar Allan Poe?
Raven.
The raven is right.
They're climbing. They have $50.
All right, you got $50. Here's your third question. How much are you going to try?
30, I think.
30. All right. What bird do you associate with the ancient mariner?
Oh, wait a minute now. The, seagull. Oh, it was a dove. It was a dove. No, it was a gull. We just studied that last week.
Well, I don't think you had your mind on it at the time, though. It's the albatross.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
They now have $20.
Well, you still got $20. Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 20 are you going to try?
All of it.
What invisible animal do you associate with Frank Fay in a successful Broadway play?
Rabbit.
The rabbit is right.
They wind up with $40, and that means the dietitian and my husband with $45 get the chance of the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question. When your car needs attention, it's important to get the very best service you can get. That's why you should always drive in at the sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. For there's where you get a top service job every time. Expert factory-trained mechanics, working with factory-approved tools and equipment, do better work on your car, and they do it faster. That means money in your pocket. Add to this the DeSoto Plymouth dealer's constant desire to treat you fairly and squarely, and you have all the reasons why it will pay you next time your car needs attention. To take it to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here's the dietitian and the husband, the winning couple, all ready for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question, Groucho.
Here we go for $1,500. Ready? I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Children the world over know about American Indians and early pioneers because of the writings of one of our greatest authors. He wrote The Deerslayer and The Last of the Mohicans, among others. Who was this man? All right, what's the answer you two have decided upon?
I think it's James Oliver Kirkwood.
No, you had the first name right, but I'm sorry, Charlie. It's James Fenimore Cooper, so that means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, you lost the big money, but you won $45 in the quiz. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you.
You Bet Your Life is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, You Bet Your Life, presented by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation. And don't forget, next week the big question will be worth $2,000.
Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Folks, here's a tip from the National Safety Council. When driving, look ahead of the vehicle ahead to give yourself more stopping distance. This is George Fenneman, signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
It's amazing. It's Prell, P-R-E-L-L, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes and leaves hair radiantly clean, radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley, with William Bendix as Riley. To hear Chester Riley talk, it would seem that he is endowed with the courage of a lion, the strength of an elephant, and the ferocity of a tiger. But between talking and doing, there's a very wide gap. and Riley invariably falls into it. The other day, for instance, Mrs. Riley and Junior arranged to meet him outside the aircraft plant where he works and do a little shopping together.
Hey, Peg, Junior, here I am.
Oh, hello, dear.
Hiya, Pop.
Well, you're right on time.
Well, I almost wasn't on account of that big Abe Hawkins.
Oh, Riley, are you having trouble with your foreman again?
That slave driver wanted me to work overtime and finish a job.
Well, maybe you should have.
Well, I might have if he'd asked me decent, but I didn't like his tone, and I told him so. Look here, Hawkins, I said. You may be my foreman, but you got no right bellowing at me like a bull, as if you was my wife.
Well, that's fine.
Oh, I didn't mean nothing personal, Dumpling. After all, you're not a bull. If I'd meant you, I'd have said it. Well, anyway, I told him off good.
Well, you should have taken a poke at him, Pop.
Now,
I almost did. I made him apologize to me, see, but he didn't sound sincere, so I grabbed him by the collar and I shook him up and down, up and down.
Pop, put me down.
Huh?
Riley.
Oh, well, excuse me, Junior. Sometimes I don't know my own strength.
Boy, you're strong, all right.
Clean living did it.
Riley. Dear, do you think it was wise laying hands on Hawkins like that? Well, you might have lost your job.
I know, but a guy can only take so much. A guy's got pride, you know. That's more important than any job.
You're okay, Pop.
Well, thanks, son. And let this be a lesson to you, Junior. Don't take no guff from nobody. Stand up to him, like I did to that big baboon Hawkins.
Oh, Riley!
Let's go.
Just a minute, Riley.
Mr. Hawkins.
Who you calling a big baboon?
My boy here. Well, good night, Mr. Hawkins.
Didn't I tell you to stay and finish that job?
Yes, sir.
Then what's the idea sneaking out the minute my back is turned?
Oh, was that your back? I didn't realize. I thought you were still facing me.
Always trying to squirm out of it, eh, you phony?
Hey, now don't let him talk to you like that, Pop. Grab him and make him apologize, like you did before.
What?
The kid don't know what he's saying. He's drunk.
Now, Riley, I'm going easy on you this time, but next time I give an order, I want to carry it out. Can you get that through your skull?
Oh, yes, sir. I'll get it through my skull somehow.
That's all. You can go.
Oh, thank you, sir. Come on, Peg. Good night, Mr. Hawkins, sir. Peg. Junior. I hear there's a big blizzard in the east. And I certainly wish I was there. You see, Peg, Junior, about Hawkins.
Well, we're home.
Yeah, we're home.
Well, Riley, aren't you coming in?
May I?
Now, don't be silly.
Junior, about Hawkins.
I have some homework to do. Excuse me, Father.
Hey, did you hear that? He called me father. Just like I was a stranger.
Well, sit down, Riley. I'll get you something to eat.
I ain't hungry. Peg, about Hawkins. I ain't really a coward.
Oh, why don't you try to just forget about
But you
it?
know I ain't a coward.
Well, I know, dear, but...
If I have to fight, I fight. Remember that time in the circus when that guy got fresh with you? Remember how I took a swing at him?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. I sure taught that midget a lesson.
Well, I'll fix you some supper, Riley.
And the only reason I let Hawkins, well, was on account of my job. I ain't afraid of him.
I know, dear, and I certainly didn't want you to fight with Hawkins, but...
But what?
Well, you just can't let people walk all over you.
But my job...
You said yourself, sometimes pride is more important than a job.
Yeah, I know. It's easy to say. But in the morning when you're hungry for bacon and eggs, you can't eat fried pride. You understand, don't you?
Of course I do.
And you'll explain it to Junior, won't you?
Well, maybe you'd better leave Junior alone for a few days.
Yeah. I guess he hates me.
Oh, now don't be silly. He couldn't hate you. It's just that... Well, I guess he's a little disappointed in you. You know how boys are. They like to look up to their fathers, be proud of them.
Yeah, I know. I was always a hero to him. A regular Florence Nightingale. He'll never forgive me.
Now, stop worrying about it.
His own father double-crossed him.
Oh, now, it's not that bad.
Yes, it is. I had a chance to give him a break, but I didn't. 18 years ago, when you proposed marriage to me, I should have had the decency to turn you down. Peg! Junior! Well, they ain't home. Guy comes home from work, nobody's home. Fine thing. No respect, that's what. Well, I can't really blame them. How can they respect me after what happened yesterday? Oh, I'm no good. Oh, I'm no good. When it gets around, everybody will laugh at me. Why can't I be a man? Stand up to that Hawkins and let him have it. Just one good punch. Oh, in my knuckles. Some hero. What am I picking on the poor piano for? I should be hitting Hawkins. And I will. Sure, why not? I ain't yellow. I just don't fight unless I'm sore. And I'm sore now. I'll fix that, Hawkins. I'm going right over to his house and do it now. Better wait till tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow will be much better. At the plant, in front of the whole Nuts and Bolts Club. Yeah, I'll mobilize them. I'll pulverize them. I'll come at him like a raging bull. Hawkins, I'll say, put up your dukes. You're going to get what's coming to you. And then Hawkins will say...
Please, Mr. Riley, sir, don't hit me. Don't hit me.
Get off your knees, Hawkins. I can't stand a coward. This is it, Hawkins. You asked for it.
Oh, Mr. Riley, sir, you broke my nose. It's all crooked.
It is, huh? Well, now it's straight again.
Pop, what's the matter? You look so funny. What happened?
Ask Hawkins. Ask him how he liked that punch in the nose I gave him.
Pop, you punched Hawkins. Oh, boy.
Huh? Oh, hello, Junior.
You punched that Hawkins.
Who, me?
Oh, jeez. Oh, your knuckles are bleeding.
But Junior,
boy, you must have walloped him.
No, wait.
Hey, Mom, come here quick.
Oh, what's the matter?
Hey, Mom, Pop punched Mr. Hawkins in the nose.
Junior, wait. Don't...
I'm glad, Riley. Now, I don't approve of fighting, but if ever anybody deserved it, that Hawkins did. I hope you punched him good and hard.
Peg, wait. You see,
Heavens, look at your knuckles.
But, Peg,
I'll bathe them for you, dear. And don't you worry about your job. I'm glad you hit him. I'm proud of you.
So am I. But, gee, I wish I could have been there when you laid him out.
So do I. I mean, I wish Junior could have been there.
Oh, you're okay, Pop. Gee, and I thought that...
What?
No, it doesn't matter now. This proves you're okay. Well, how did it happen, Pop?
Yes, dear, how did it start?
You really want to know?
Yeah, come on, Pop, tell us.
Well, here I was, and there was Hawkins, just about where the piano is, and I hauled off like this, and I let him have it, right in his big teeth, like this. Ow! And so help me, that's exactly what happened.
We'll hear the second act of The Life of Riley in a moment.
Oh, Ken, across the nation, the shampoo sensation is Prell.
Yes, Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. You'll like Prell for two reasons.
First, Prell reveals a radiant natural beauty in your hair no soap or soap shampoo can match. Prel uncovers lovely, youthful highlights. Leaves your hair wonderfully soft, satin smooth, easy to manage.
Second, Prel goes after unsightly dandruff quickly. Removes it in as little as 3 minutes. Leaves your hair sparkling clean, well-groomed.
And Prel goes farther than any other known shampoo, cream or liquid, because it's concentrated for economy. You use less, get more lather.
So ask for the shampoo in the handy tube. Ask for...
P-R-E-L-L-L shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is in sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L-L shampoo.
Buy Prel shampoo. And now back to The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley.
Peg.
Hello, dear.
Hiya, champ.
Oh, what's the matter, Riley? You seem upset.
You bet I'm upset. Who's been telling everybody I punched Hawkins in the nose? It's all over the plant.
Oh, I guess I told them.
You?
Yeah, I was bragging to some of the kids, and I guess they told their fathers.
Why don't you mind your own business? Now, on account of you, I'm a hero. The guys at the plant nominated me to the Nuts and Bolts Club. They're giving me a dinner tonight at Luigi's.
Well, you always wanted to get into the club.
Yeah, but
Well, then what are you yelling at Junior for? You ought to thank him.
But Hawkins... Thanks, son.
Well, I don't understand you, Riley. You stood up for your rights. Why don't you want people to know? Isn't like you to be so modest.
Well, yeah, for years you've been trying to get in that club at your plant, and now you're in. What's the harm?
Yeah, but you don't Yeah, what's the harm? Sure, what's done is done. Sure, what am I worrying about? Everything will be okay. You know, Dublin, sometimes I ain't very bright.
No, dear.
That's what I like about you. You always agree with me. Junior, I'm sorry I snapped at you.
No, that's okay, Pop.
Here's $5. Buy yourself something.
Oh, say, thanks, Pop. Oh, this will come in handy. I'm taking Angela to the school dance tomorrow.
Oh, you got a new girl?
Yeah, Angela Hawkins.
Well, that's fine. Oh, Junior, you mean Hawkins' kid?
Yeah, she's in my class.
I forbid it. You stay away from that, Angela. First thing you know, Hawkins will find out I punched him in the nose. I forbid it.
But, Riley, what
Hello, Riley speaking.
Riley, this is Hawkins.
Oh, I'm sorry. Riley just moved. You got the
Don't
wrong...
hang up, Riley.
No.
I hear there's a little rumor going around that you punched me in the nose.
Oh.
You're a big hero. Them wise guys in the Nuts and Bolts Club are giving you a dinner tonight. I thought you might like to know there's going to be an unexpected guest there. Me.
Oh.
And I'm going to give you the licking of your life in front of everybody.
Oh.
Well, who was that, Riley?
Hey, that was Ralph Edwards.
Ralph Edwards?
Yeah. He wanted to know who the walking man is. Something tells me after tonight it ain't going to be me. Oh, what a mess. I'm always getting into trouble. The minute I get out of one hole, I find myself in another.
You're not the only one, believe me.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby O'Dell, the friendly undertaker.
Oh, hello, Digger.
Greetings, Riley. You're looking fine. Very natural.
Digger, I'm in a jam. You see, I was nominated to the Nuts and Bolts Club at my plant.
Ah, yes, for punching your foreman in the nose, wasn't it?
Well, how did you hear?
Oh, I'm always picking up dirt. Congratulations. I can't stand foremen. I remember some years ago I had a foreman, a short, fat little character. We called him Mr. 5x5. He was always ragging me. I thought it would never end. But fortunately it did.
Well, how, Digger?
Mr. 5x5 became 6x3.
Well, my trouble is I never really hit Hawkins. It's just a rumor.
Oh.
Yeah.
And everybody believes you were brave enough to punch the bully?
Yeah. Everybody but the bully.
Oh, this is serious.
Riley, your fellow men must never know of your deceit. Let me see. There must be some way I can cover you up.
Oh, it's too late. They'll find out. Hawkins said he's coming to the dinner tonight and show me up. He weighs 280.
I've handled them bigger. But this is a dinner.
If I don't fight Hawkins, everybody will look down at me where the place where I work.
If you do fight Hawkins, everybody will look down at you at the place where I work.
I don't know what to do, Digger.
There's only one thing you can do if you're a man. Go to this dinner. Face this huge bruiser. Stand your ground. And no matter what happens, I'll be right behind you.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go, but not tonight. I'll ask him to make the dinner next month.
No, Riley, don't procrastinate.
Yeah, you're right, Digger. I might as well face the music tonight.
That's the spirit. In our profession, we have a saying. Never put off till tomorrow what you can put away today. Well, cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Order. The monthly meeting of the Nuts and Bolts Club will now come to order. Yeah, fellow members, we are gathered here to welcome co-worker Jester A. Riley amongst our midst. And we all know what he done to deserve this honor. It's something we all been aching to do for years. Only he had the guts to do it, and also the knuckles. Now, if there are any objections before I pronounce candidate Riley a full-fledged vote in the Nuts and Bolts Club, let him speak now or forever hold his peace. No objections? Okay. I hereby...
Mr. Chairman.
The chair recognizes both Jim Gillis.
Mr. Chairman. Fellow members, I got a few words to say. Riley, I'm your best friend, ain't I?
That's right, for 20 years.
I'm like a brother to you?
That's right, we're sisters under the skin.
I'd do anything for you, right?
Right.
But I'm against letting you into this club.
Hey,
no! Order! Let's look at the facts without prejudice. All of a sudden, we hear Riley punches Hawkins in the nose. Well, I just want to ask one question. Where? When? How? Who saw him? Who was there? And Hawkins. Is the shape of Hawkins' nose any different? No. It's just as crooked as it always was. I say, let's not be hasty. I'm Riley's dearest pal. But I say, before we let him into this club, let's investigate it.
Order. Candidate Riley, you have heard Gillis. I'm afraid we'll have to have a few more details as to just how you punched Hawkins in the nose. Tell us what happened.
Well, fellas, it was this way. I'm reminded of a little story. There was once a Scotchman called McTavish.
Stick to Hawkins.
Well, you see, Hawkins came over and called me a stupid...
And then you hit him?
There was once this Scotchman called McTavish.
What about Hawkins?
Yeah, well, he came over, see, and he said I was a moron, so I hauled off like this, and...
And then you hit him?
So this Scotchman called McTavish. One day he was pressing his...
Come on, get to the point.
Well,
pardon me, gents.
Yeah, what is it, waiter?
Is there Mr. Riley here?
Yeah, that's me.
There's Mr. Hawkins outside wants to see you. What'll I tell him?
Tavish.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? Hawkins is here to see Riley? Yesterday he got punched in the nose. Today looks like they're pals. I don't like that.
Wait, fellas. Oh, wait a minute, fellas. I ain't no pal of Hawkins.
Riley, no matter what you say, the members is going to be septic. But there is one sure way that we can settle this. You say you punched Hawkins on the nose? Well, go out there and do it again.
Punch him? In cold blood?
Yeah.
Sure, let him have it.
Well, fellas, wait. Stop pushing me.
Now, wait, guys. Better let Riley go in there alone. See, if we all go, Hawkins will think we're ganging up on him and run away.
Yeah, that's right. Well, go on, Riley.
Go ahead, Riley. We'll come in when we hear Hawkins begging for mercy.
Yeah. Well, here I go. Goodbye, boys. I mean...
So here you are,
Hello, Mr. Hawkins, sir.
Celebrating how you punched me in the nose, huh?
Mr. Hawkins, please, why are you rolling up your sleeves?
Riley, you ever play with a jigsaw puzzle?
Yeah, you want to play?
No, I'm just asking, because when I get through with you, you're going to be in so many pieces, you'll have to be an expert to put yourself together again. Stand still, you coward.
That's done it. You can't call me a coward. It's bad enough my junior did it. Put up your dukes, Hawkins. I'm coming at you, you bully.
Get up off the floor, Riley. You bent the radiator with your head.
Oh. Why did you duck, you snake? Oh, my head.
Feeling better, Riley? I'll wait here while you get your strength back. I don't want to murder you until you're nice and healthy.
Okay, Hawkins, I'll fight you. But promise me you'll tell my wife I wasn't afraid.
It'll be a pleasure.
And tell Digger Odell I died like a... Never mind, I'll tell him myself. And tell my boy Junior his father wasn't a coward. Such a nice little boy. Ask your daughter, Angela.
Never mind my daughter, Angela. Hey, wait a minute. Did you say Junior?
Yeah, my boy.
The kid who's taking my little Angela to the dance tomorrow?
Yeah, he loves to dance. I encourage him.
That's your boy?
Yeah, he's mine. All paid for. I got the doctor's receipt to prove it.
Hey, that's right. I saw him with you that day at the plant. Oh, he's such a nice boy. My sweet little Angela's crazy about him. You know, it looked like the poor little angel wasn't going to this dance. And then your boy asked her. Oh, she's so happy. I took her to the beauty parlor and gave her a permanent wave. And I had her little toenails painted.
You mean the ones on her feet?
Yeah. Oxblood red. And say, you know, she looks like a little princess. Ah, she's so... Riley, what are you doing on the floor? Get up, you'll catch cold.
Well, ain't you going to hit me?
Hit you? Junior's father? I should say not. My little Angela would never forgive me. Come on, get up.
Oh, well, thanks, Mr. Hawkins.
Call me Gus.
Okay, Gus. Gee, I'm glad we ain't fighting anymore.
Why should we fight? After all, you're Junior and my Angela. Well, who knows? Maybe someday. Plenty of time to fight over who's going to pay for the wedding.
You know, Gus, I'm sorry the rumor got around that I punched you. I'll tell the boys I really didn't.
No. Let them think what they want. Don't do me no harm. But you know, I'm kind of curious. How did that rumor start?
Oh, well, it's a long story. You see, I skinned my knuckles, you see, and they were bleeding. You see the scars?
Where?
Oh,
you poor knuckles.
Yeah.
How did it happen, pal?
Well, you see, we got a piano in my house, and I was standing here, and the piano was there, just about where you're standing. And I was mad at something, and I hauled off and hit the piano like this.
My nose! You broke my nose! Oh, look, it's bleeding.
Oh, I didn't mean it, Gus. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Gus.
Hey, Riley, the boy...
Oh, my nose!
Hey.
Holy smoke! Hey, fellas, look! Riley's done it again!
Hey,
fellas, wait!
Riley, we're not only going to make you a full-fledged member, but we're going to give you the highest honor possible.
And I second the emotion.
Fellas, Gillis, you mean you're...
Yeah.
Oh, I got to phone Peg and tell her. Oh, boy, wait till she's here. Gee, fellas, I'll try to live up to this honor, really. Hello, Peg? Yeah, this is Riley. No, nothing's wrong. Yeah, I'm at the dinner. Yeah, they elected me all right, but they didn't make me a vote. I'm proud to say your husband is a nut.
The Rileys will be back in just a moment. Everywhere people welcome new Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Mrs. Anna A. Flood of Detroit, Michigan, right?
I love Prell myself, and believe me, Prell's a real joy to a busy mother. Now the children help with their own shampoos, and we're through in jig time. And Prell leaves their hair really clean and radiant.
Friends, try Prell yourself. See if you don't agree. Prell removes unsightly dandruff quickly. Leaves hair radiantly clean, radiantly beautiful. Try
P-R-E-L-L, Prell shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is in sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L, Prell shampoo.
Hiya, Pop. Well, Junior, what are you doing home? You were supposed to take Angela to the dance tonight.
Yeah, I know, but I broke the date.
You what?
Well, that Angela bores me. I broke the date.
Oh, Junior, why did you do it? That ain't the only thing that's going to be broken. How could you... Hello? Oh. Yeah, Mr. Hawkins. Yeah, I was expecting to hear from you. Yeah, I know what happened. Yeah, okay, Mr. Hawkins, here's my nose. Come and get it.
Procter & Gamble invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The script is by Alan Lipscott, Reuben Shipp, and Dick Powell. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Brecker.
In the factory, on the farm, in the home.
Hey, Mom, where's the lava soap?
Yes, everywhere. Everybody depends on L-A-V-A, Lava Soap, to get dirty hands really clean, because Lava gets the stubborn dirt and grime ordinary wash-ups miss. In every inch of Lava's snowy lather, 50,000 tiny scrubbers remove deep dirt from skin crevices between fingers around fingernails. Yes, with Lava, hands soiled by the dirtiest dirt, the grimiest grime, comes sparkling clean in 30 to 50 seconds. As Mr. Fred Duro of Niagara Falls says,
I work in the lathe room at the Carborundum Company. You never saw hands get as dirty as mine, but a quick wash-up with Lava is all I need. Leaves my hands real clean and feeling good, too.
And remember, Lava is gentle enough even for children's tender skin. So get the soap that gets the dirt. Get Lava Soap.
This is Ken Niles reminding you that for radiantly clean, lovely hair, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo. Listen again next week when Prell brings you The Life of Riley. And now stay tuned for Truth or Consequences. Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Amos and Andy Show. Whenever Andy Brown is in trouble, it's safe to assume that it's caused by either women or money. However, in his present difficulties, he's gone a step further. He's combined them both. At the moment, he is in his office looking to the Kingfish for comfort.
Oh, I tell you, Kingfish, I is in a mess here.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I ain't got no sympathy for a man that expect to take out a gal on a date with only 12 cents in his pocket.
Well, listen, I suppose when you was courting your wife, you never took her out with only that much money, huh?
Never, Andy, never. If she didn't have at least $1, the date was off.
Well, the only thing I can figure out is to take this gal of mine someplace tonight where there ain't no charge for admission. I know, maybe the museum. That's free.
Yeah, there's only one trouble, though, about taking her to a museum.
What's that?
If she's anything like that last gal you had, they're going to keep her there.
Oh, no, Kingfish. Wait a minute. This gal is different. And I is crazy about her. Honest, I is.
Andy, you sound serious.
Oh, Kingfish, I is. I loves her. And this ain't puppy love. This ain't no fly-by-night love. This is the real thing. The kind of love a fellow dreams about all his life. It's rare.
Cheers, huh?
Oh, yeah. I ain't been in love like this since a week ago Tuesday.
Say, look, Andy, I don't know why you don't come right out and tell the gal you was broke. That ain't no crime.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Kingfish. This is one gal that I really want to marry. The gal got a good job in some office. She make a lot of money, smart as a whip. You ought to see her handle numbers and figures. She's smart with figures.
Oh, business gal, huh?
Yeah, but there's one thing about that gal. She ain't got no respect for a man that ain't a success in business.
Yeah, that puts you right in the ash can, don't it?
Well, you see, to make a hit with her, why, I told her that I made about $7,000 last year. Told her that I got a lot of investments, so now how was I going to tell her that I was broke? I want to keep up a good front with her.
I tell you what, you do call her up, Anna, and tell her that you got some business that just come up. Tell her that you planned on taking her out to a very exclusive club for dinner, but you can't.
Yeah, that's the stuff. I can lay it on with her. What kind of dinner was I going to take her to?
Oh, high class. Tell her that the dinner was starting off with seafood, then lobster thermidor, then oysters on the half shell, pheasant, chicken under glass, and tell her the dessert was going to be that French, just say piece de resistance. Say that.
Yeah, hand me that phone.
Yeah, here you go.
I wish I had some money. I has had to take more gals on walking days here lately. Getting so when I first meet a gal now, I look at her feet before I look at her face.
Yeah. Got to get a lot of mileage out of them, all right.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is this Caroline?
Yeah.
Hello. This is Andy.
Oh, hello, Andy. How are you?
All right.
What time are you coming over tonight?
Oh, well, that's what I called you about, honey. I got in a meeting here with my bankers, and I ain't going to finish in time to get out tonight.
Oh, your bankers?
Yeah, they're here now. Wait just a minute. Hey, bankers, make that 2 off 10 net 60. And pile that money up on the table there, and stop walking around on them checks laying on the floor.
Yeah, for a guy with 12 cents, that's really putting on the dog there, son.
Wait a minute. Hello, honey. I was going to take you out to an exclusive club tonight for dinner. Sorry we can't go.
Oh, I am, too.
Tell her about the food, eh? Yeah. Tell you what we was going to have to eat, too, tonight, honey.
Well, what was that?
Oh, we was going to have a great meal. I had the whole thing ordered. We was going to start off first there with some kind of seafood.
A seafood cocktail?
Well, I ain't planned on no drinking. But anyway, then we blends into lobster thermostat, and then following that, you know what was next?
No, Andy, what?
Pheasant on the half shell. And then, honey, we was going to have chicken under glass.
Oh, I've heard of that. Chicken under glass.
Oh, yeah. Tell you the truth, for a while there, I was thinking of having the whole meal served under glass, including us.
Oh, that was quite a dinner.
Oh, but I ain't told you about the dessert.
What was that going to be?
Piece de resistance. We might even had 2 pieces of it.
Oh, I'm sorry we couldn't get together, but give me a ring at the office tomorrow. You have my number.
Yeah, all right. And don't forget your little Andy Wandy.
I won't. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Andy Wandy. Well, Anna, that was one of the crazy...
Wait a minute. Come in, Amos. Come in.
Well, hello there, fellas. How is you?
Hi, Amos.
Amos, you missed it. Man tells a gal that he made $7,000 in 1944. Made a date with her with 12 cents in his pocket.
Who done that?
Andy here.
Well, it sounds like him all right, but speaking about your income for 1944, I just thought of something. Is you fellas figured out if you got any income tax to pay?
Income tax? Oh, me, they still got that thing.
I'll say they still got it. And if you were supposed to pay an income tax and you don't file it, the FBI come after you.
Oh, me, I done forgot about the thing, too. The FBI, huh?
You fellas better get going on it right away.
Yeah, well, then, we as partners, so our income must be about the same. Get out the books there and let's figure out what it is.
Yeah, that's right. I'll get out the cash journal here. Got it right in my desk drawer here.
Oh, keep the books, huh?
Oh, sure. Got each month on a separate page. Profit and loss and all that.
Yeah, start with January, ain't it?
Yeah. January. Profit, nothing. Loss, $1. February, profit, nothing. Loss, $2.50. March, profit, nothing. Loss, $3. April, profit, nothing. Loss, nothing. Say, Kingfish, we broke even in April.
Yeah, well, you're bound to hit one good month there. Wasn't that then?
Well, then we took our summer vacation. May, June, July, August, and September.
Oh, we cut it short that year, didn't we?
You mean that you fellas took 5 months vacation after not making a dime all year?
Well, we was just resting up so we could hit the ball in October. What do we do in October there? Read the thing there. What does it say?
Well, you know Columbus Day coming that month. That's a holiday.
Yeah, I remember.
Looked like we celebrated Columbus Day the whole month here.
Yeah, great man, that Columbus. How about November?
Looked like we done celebrated him in November, too.
Look, Andy, that book you got there ain't right. I remember you telling me that at the end of the year that you made $250.
Yeah, that is right. Amos, I got to pay a tax on $250?
Well, I don't know, Andy. You better find out about that and find out quick.
Andy, we better go over and see our lawyer, Gabby Gibson. He is the man that can straighten you out. Hello there, Gabby.
Hello, Gabby. We got to see you about something right away.
Well, come right in, boys. Glad to see you. I sure is glad to see you.
Yeah. Now, look here, Gabby. We is here to talk to you about $250, Andy made.
$250? Did I say glad to see you? Let me change that to delighted.
Listen, Gabby, this ain't $250 that I got. It's $250 that I done earned and spent, and now I'm afraid I got to pay income taxes on it.
Oh, yeah, Gabby. What we come to see you about, we want to see if you knows anything about the income tax laws.
Does I know anything about the income tax laws? Why, the first client I ever had was in trouble about that very thing. Wanted my advice on how to keep from going to jail. So I explained the income tax to him. Explained it in and out, in and out.
And you kept him from going to jail, huh?
No, he's been in and out, in and out.
Well, look, Gabby, what we want to know is, does you know how to figure income tax?
That's very funny. Ask me if I can figure income tax. Can a duck swim? Can a duck swim?
You mean you can figure income tax as good as a duck can swim?
Well, not exactly, not exactly.
Then what you mean?
I can swim as well as a duck can figure income tax.
Listen, Kingfish, Gabby don't know nothing about income tax. Come on, let's go.
Oh, wait a minute, boys, wait a minute. I was only fooling. I knows all about income tax, all about it. The first thing you do is get a couple of the forms,
Couple of the forms, yeah?
Yes, indeed. Next thing you take one of them and puts down all deductions that you think is entitled to. All that you think you's entitled to.
Oh, then what?
Well, then you start all over. You ain't entitled to that much.
Listen, Kingfish, I was right the first time. Now, Gabby don't know nothing about income tax.
I do, too. I know that you better take care of that income tax. You better take care of it. Because if you don't, the government can force you. They sure can force you.
How can they do that?
How? By the law of the freedom of the seas. The freedom of the seas.
Freedom of the seas? How you figure that, Gabby?
If you don't pay that tax, the government gonna seize you and put you where you ain't got no freedom. That's freedom of the seas if I ever had it. It sure is.
Hello there, Brother Andy. How is you?
Listen, Kingfish, I've been thinking things over since we seen Gabby this morning. I'm going to get this gal of mine, Caroline Martin, that knows so much about figures to help me with my income tax.
Brother Andy, that's what I hear about. I just come from the bank. Was talking to him over there. Got some of the forms that you fill out. And I happen to announce that I is now expert on income tax.
Oh, great, Kingfish, great. Where does we start?
Well, now, let's start with some deductions here. That's the only part of it there's any pleasure to. Let's see. Contributions, that's money for charity.
Well, say, listen, would the Mystic Knights of the Sea Relief Fund come under that?
Oh, sure.
Well, then put down $1. $1?
Is that all?
That's all they give me.
Oh, well, I'll put it down there. Now, the next deduction is, let me see here, depreciation. Now, that word there, don't let your veins sit up on you there. I'll explain the word. Depreciation means the wear and tear on something that you own, and it make it go down in value.
Yeah, well, in that case, I can take off from my overcoat hanging over there.
Has your overcoat depreciated?
Well, take a look at it.
Don't look bad. Look like a green satin overcoat to me, that's all.
Yeah, well, when I got it, it was a fur coat with a green satin lining.
now let's see what else here. Well, I guess you call that depreciation, all right. Put that down in your overcoat. But on second thought, Andy, wait a minute, Charles. I don't think they'd allow you for nothing on your overcoat. If you want to deduct for depreciation, you got to own personal property like a home, something you was lived in and slept in.
Oh, well, then I can deduct for my suit.
Well, I don't think Mr. Morgenthau had nothing like that in mind when he started this mess. I really don't think he did. Yeah, well, now, let me see. Let's forget that and get to the next deduction. What you got there now? Let's see the thing.
Yeah. Show me. What is the next one?
Yeah, well, now, I know you can deduct for medical expenses, hospital, doctor's bills, and all that stuff.
Doctor bills?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now, there's something right there.
Oh, we got something here.
Oh, sure. I had one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. The February of last year, I got a bill for $30 from the doctor for some work he done.
Yeah, well, we'll take that off. $30, huh?
Oh, great. And when I pays him, can I take it off again?
Yeah, I think you might be able to do that now. That ought to come under the heading, you take it off now and then take it off. Yeah, that come under the heading of double indemnity. That's what it come under.
Yeah, well, I know what that double means, but what did that indemnity or whatever this means? What is that?
Well, indemnity, I'll explain it to you. Indemnity means,
well, what it means?
Maybe we better not take that off there. I don't think so.
Oh, listen, Kingfish, we ain't getting no place here. But before I decide to have my gal Caroline help me with the taxes, I'm going to try one more thing.
Yeah, what you going to do?
I'm going to try Shorty the barber. He got a business, so he must have paid income taxes before.
Yeah, well, you can try Shorty all right, Andy, but I don't think Shorty going to be able to help you none.
Yeah,
you know one thing? He is the worst mathematician I done ever seen in my whole life.
He is, huh? Well, there ain't no excuse for no man not being smart at figures.
Only yesterday, I walked in Shorty there to get a haircut and a shave that totaled up to 60 cents. I handed him $1, and he gave me a 50-cent change.
Oh, how you like that? Cheating you out of 20 cents. Well, I'm going to see him anyway. Shorty, the reason I dropped in, I thought maybe you could help me with something.
I'd be glad to, Andy. What does you want me to help you with?
My income tax. You was in this barber business here. You ought to know how to figure out income tax.
Oh, it's easy to figure out income tax. Yeah, you just fill out the form the government give you. You just follow their instruction. The form tells you just what to do. The government thinks so anybody can understand. Morgan don't even know.
Look, Shorty, you got a business here, so you must have paid some income tax. Now, you certainly ought to be able to help me fill out this income tax form.
Let me see it. Oh, I was very familiar with all the questions on that one.
Oh, you is? Oh, that's great. That's great.
The only trouble is I ain't very familiar with the answers.
Listen, Shorty, this is silly. You must know how to fill out this form. You was done paid income tax, ain't you?
Oh, sure. I have paid income tax already.
Oh, well, now we're getting someplace. We're getting warm here. When you paid your income tax, how do you figure out how much you got to pay?
Oh, I never figures anything out. I just send them everything I make. It's a much simpler method.
But if you sends them everything you make, then you ain't got nothing left to live on.
I ain't?
No.
I knew there was something wrong with that method.
Shorty, you ain't no help to me at all, you know it? Don't you know nothing at all about the income tax?
Oh, sure. I know that the government allows $300 a year for a child.
They does?
Yeah, but how many children make that kind of money?
Yeah, that do kind of sound silly, don't it?
Yeah, I also know that there are different brackets. Yeah, the more money you make, the bigger bracket you was in, and then you got to pay a lot more. You got to watch that.
Yeah, well, none of that stuff is helping me none, so give me a haircut as long as I was here.
Oh, sorry, Andy. I can't give you one till next week.
Why not?
According to my books, I got to slow down or I'll be in a higher bracket.
Well, look, I want a haircut.
No, please, Andy. You mess up my whole bracket.
Listen, Shorty, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you give me a haircut, I promise you not to pay you for it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, Andy, you was a real pal.
This income tax get more and more mixed up. I can't make head nor tail of it. I got a good mind to forget the whole thing and not even file no income
No,
tax.
that's it. That's a good idea, Andy. You don't have to stand for that kind of stuff. The government can't push you around like that. They ain't got the right to mess with just ignore the whole thing. You'll love Alcatraz.
This has sure been a mess, Amos.
Yeah, you mean this income tax?
Yeah, if I'd have known income tax was going to be so hard to figure out, I never would have allowed myself to make any money this year.
Yeah, well, you didn't make much.
No, but by trying just a little harder, I could have made nothing.
Yeah, well, you almost did make nothing. Tell me, what is you going to do about filing it?
Well, I already done something about it. Amos, you remember me telling you about that new gal of mine, Caroline Martin?
Oh, the smart gal, yeah. She's the one that works, you say, at some big office. She's smart with figures.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I finally called her up and asked her if she would help me fill the thing out. She said that not only would she help me, but she'd do the whole thing herself.
Oh.
She told me if I just send over an income tax form with my figures, why, she'd fill the thing out for me.
Oh, that's great, Andy. Did you send her one of them blank forms?
Well, I didn't leave it all blank. I signed the thing where it says signatures. That was the only question I could understand.
Oh, I see. Say, wait a minute, though, Andy. Didn't you tell that gal you made $7,000 last year?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, when she sees from the figures that your income is only $250, she's going to know you've been lying to her.
Ah, but I got around that. I still told her I made $7,000 income. But when I gets the form back from her all filled out, I'll just copy the way she done it on another form, but using my own $250 figures.
Oh, that's how you're going to work it, huh?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I got to get over to her office now, too. She told me she'd have the form all ready for me.
Good.
The Kingfisher's going over with me. I'll see you later.
Well, is this the building where your gal works, Andy?
Yeah, this must be it.
Yeah, why has we got to come up the alley and go in the back way to our office?
Well, she's filling out my tax blank for me on her working time, I guess. Maybe she don't want her boss to see her doing outside work.
Yeah, and by the way, Andy, if you expect her to believe that you was a $7,000 a year man, you better not put your feet up on a desk or nothing like that, because I noticed before that your shoes has got holes through the bottom of them.
Yeah, well, I done fixed that. I don't think she's going to notice that. I stuffed some newspaper in there.
Newspaper? Let me see. Lift up one of your feet.
There you is. Is it noticeable?
See the Yanks take Corregidor here.
Can you read that much?
Hey, there's Gravel Gertie running around there. Look at that. I see the whole headline in there.
Yeah, well, look, here's the door. Here, now, let's get in her office there, Kingfish.
Yeah, okay, let's go on in here.
Yeah, that's her over there at the desk, Kingfish. Wait a minute, here she comes.
Oh, hello, Andy. How are you? Come on over and sit down.
Hello, Caroline. I'd like to have you meet one of my business managers. This is George Kingfish Stevens and Miss Martin here.
Well, glad to know you, Miss
How do you do?
You know, making $7,000 like I do's, why, I always carries one or two business managers around with me.
Yes, I understand. Well, I filled out your whole form with the figures that you gave me over the phone, and the tax you owe on your $7,000 income is $1,200.
$1,200. A mere pittance.
Yeah, a man making $7,000 a year like you, Miss Brown, no, that's nothing.
Yeah, well, Caroline, honey, if you just give me the form now that you made out, why, I'll take it back to my office and mail it off with the $1,200 I owe. Is this the form here?
Well, this is a copy.
A copy? Where's the original form, the one I signed?
Well, that's up front. Didn't you know?
No, what?
I already filed it. This is the Income Tax Bureau.
Ladies and gentlemen, for humanity's sake in this time of great need, won't you contribute to the Red Cross?
They really need your help, folks, so won't you please give?
Thanks and good night.
Good night, folks.
Next week, Andy has to find some way out of paying income tax on the $7,000 he boastfully reported through his girlfriend. So don't miss it. This program is broadcast to our armed forces all over the world. This is Harlow Wilcox saying good night to all of you from all of us.
Hello, are you there? Well, we're here at Camp Elliott with Marines. Yeah.
Swan, the soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing this one.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, presents the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. Yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the Six Hits and a Miss, and George Burns and Gracie Allen. Well, now let's look in and see what's doing at the Burns home.
Gracie.
In the living room, dear.
Gracie, what happened? I looked in the drawer and I haven't got a single clean shirt.
Oh, darling, I forgot to tell you. Our laundress quit. Oh, she wasn't a very good laundress anyway. Remember how she used to cut the tails off your shirts to make her work easier?
Yes, it's just as well she's gone.
Well, she's got a job over at Consolidated now, making airplanes. Oh, that reminds me. I better call Consolidated and warn them.
What?
Airplanes have tails, too.
Well, Gracie, don't bother. Do you think that you could wash out a shirt for me?
Oh, well, I'd be glad to, Judge, but I'm expecting two of the girls from my club any minute.
Oh, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
Yes.
What are those hens going to cackle about today?
Well, George, that's no way to talk about your wife and your wife's friends.
Oh, I didn't mean you, dear.
Well, it's no way to talk about those other hens either.
Believe me, honey, washing a few shirts wouldn't hurt any of those dames.
But, George, we work hard. We have to in times like these. We even do jobs for each other if they're the same amount of work.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, for instance, Ruthie Palmtag and Clara Bagley have a deal. Ruthie mows Clara's lawn and Clara cuts Ruthie's hair.
Well, I guess that's even. They're both green.
Well,
you know,
the Beverly Hills Uplift Society is doing everything it can to help win the war. Hardly a week goes by that we don't send out a long list of helpful suggestions.
Suggestions? Well, who do you send them to?
General MacArthur.
Well, oh, fine. That's all we need.
Oh, yeah? Well, he wrote back and said if our ideas were used, the war would be over in 2 weeks.
Well, I'd rather take a little longer and win it. You see what I mean? Look. Why don't you girls do something constructive?
Well, we do. We save all our waste kitchen fat and take it to our butcher. The government uses it to make bombs and bullets.
Well, now you're doing something.
Why, Blanche Morton alone has turned in 11 pounds of fat this week.
Well, why? Well, why does she cook so much? There's the worst cook in the whole world. Her food is enough to kill you.
Well, that's the idea. She can't invite the whole German army to dinner, so she figures if her cooking doesn't get them one way, it'll get them another.
And, of course, we must drop a few of our biscuits on the Japs, too.
Yes.
Yeah, remind me to do that.
Oh, that must be the girls now. Come in.
Oh, hello, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Ruthie. Hello, Clara. Ruthie, I was just telling George about the deal you two had, where you mow Clara's lawn and she cuts your hair.
What do you think of it, Mr. Burns?
Well, it's very interesting, only it looks like the wrong one is using the lawnmower. Well, excuse me, girls. I've got to go and wash a shirt. I'll be in the kitchen there.
Oh, all right.
Honestly, Gracie, sometimes I wonder why you married that man.
Oh, it was love. I didn't have much choice.
Well, obviously not. But look, Gracie, what we came to talk to you about, we want to help the war workers. Now, there are lots of mothers who have babies in defense class.
My goodness, the hospitals must be crowded.
No, Gracie. Now, you see, while these mothers are working, they need someone to take care of the children. Can we count on you to help?
Oh, yes, I love babies. I practically raised my little nephew, John Cachu Allen.
The child's name was John Cachu Allen?
Yes, the minister who christened him had a very bad cold.
But, Gracie, the child we're leaving with you isn't exactly...
Oh, I adore babies. I still have little Johnny's first pair of shoes. Wait, I'll show them to you. I'll be right back.
Oh, poor Gracie. I hope she won't be too disappointed when she finds out the baby we're leaving with her is 10 years old.
Yes, Bobby Ross. He's tough as nails.
Here comes Gracie.
Oh, here they are, girls. Look, little Johnny's first shoes. I had them gilded. Aren't they sweet?
Sweet? Why, my husband could wear these.
Were those his first shoes?
Yes. He didn't move into town until he was 24.
Well, we'll have to run along, Gracie. We're going to let you take care of little Bobby Ross. He'll be here in a couple of hours.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, I can't wait to tell George that we're going to have a little baby in the house. I wonder if the baby will change George. I wonder if George will change the baby.
Gracie, have those club women left?
Yes, dear.
Well, thank goodness. What were you talking about?
The baby.
Well, who's going to have a baby?
We are.
Oh, we are. Well, if one of... We are?
Yes.
We're going to have a baby?
Yeah. Are you happy, George?
Happy? Why, I'm delirious. I'm a father. I'm a success. I may have been late getting started, but look, I'll canter.
Oh, I'm so glad you're taking it like this.
Oh, boy. I'm going to run down the corner and get cigars for the fella. Now, you just lie down, honey. I'll be right back. Just think. I'm going to have a cigar. I mean, a baby. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, watch where you... Oh, George.
Oh,
well, what's the rush? What's the matter?
Oh, Bill, I just heard the greatest news a man could hear.
Oh, so you heard it, too?
True. I'm the only one who knows.
Oh, now, don't be silly, George. It's all over town.
All over town?
Why, of course. It's even on a billboard at the corner.
Oh, no.
Well, George, why not? Why keep it a secret?
But, Bill...
Now, George, if a lot of dealers want to run a special sale on Swan soap, I think people ought to know about it. After all, here's their chance to buy 3 bars of Swan and save. Why keep news like that a secret?
But, Bill, that's not what I meant. I'm going to have a baby.
After all, George, Swan is the new white floating soap that gives you all those mild, pure suds so fast. And a Swan sale is big news. Although Swan saves you money, sale or no sale. You see, Swan not only gives you more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested, but for housework, Swan saves again. Because it goes further than easily wasted package soaps. And it... You're going to have a baby?
Why... Yes, Bill.
Well, gee, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Well,
imagine me talking about Swan when you're expecting a baby. I'm sorry, George.
Oh, that's all right. You see...
I didn't give you a chance to tell me about it.
Oh, that's all right. You see...
I feel like a heel.
Oh, that's all right. You see...
Here you are telling me you're having a baby, and I just stand here and go on talking about Swan.
Oh, that's all right. You see...
The soap that's as mild as the finest Castile. The soap that's so mild and gentle it's kind to your hands no matter what soap and water job you use it for. Oh, George, I'm just a false friend.
Oh, Bill, forget it.
Well, gee, thanks. When do you expect the baby, George?
My gosh, I forgot to ask Gracie. Just a minute. Gracie?
Yes, dear?
When are we expecting the baby? March, April, May?
Oh, it should be here in about 2 hours.
2 hours? Bill, go for a doctor.
Okay.
This is Paul Whiteman, and here's Jimmy Cash to sing one of the country's most popular love songs, Starlight Sonata. Okay, Jimmy.
You're my song from a world way up high. You are my starlight sonata out of the midnight sky. There's no melody sung by a light sweet as my starlight sonata after the sky grows dark. Your arms are such a thrilling place when we embrace like this.
Gracie is waiting to take care of the defense worker's baby, while poor George still thinks he's going to become a father.
Now, just lie down, dear, and take it easy. Would you like another pillow under your head?
Oh, I wish I knew what's come over you, George. All this fuss over one little baby. Suppose I was going to have 4 or 5 of them.
At once?
Well, I'd be glad to do it if you'd like me to.
Oh, gosh. Why doesn't Bill get here with that doctor?
What's the matter? Don't you feel well?
Of course I feel well. The doctor is for you and the baby.
Oh, I see what you mean. He examines the baby, and then if he isn't healthy, we give him back and get another one.
I can't understand what's... Oh, there's Bill and the doctor. Now, you stay right here. I'll answer the door. Come in.
Oh, hi, George. Here's the doctor you wanted. This is Mr. Burns, Doc.
How do you do? How do you do? That'll be $5, please.
Well, for Pete's sake, Bill, this is Dr. Lewis. I don't want him.
Well, gee, I'm sorry. I just grabbed the first one I found. What's wrong with him?
Well, this guy is a screwball.
Well, let's get down to business, Mr. Screwball. Unusual name, by the way. Only heard it once before. A woman I know told me your husband was a screwball.
Well, I don't care what she told you.
Charming woman, delightful. Great friend of mine. Married to her, come to think of it.
Bill, why did you do this to me?
Now, look, George, I just stood on a corner and yelled, I want a doctor. Who'd you expect to answer, the Mayo brothers?
Well, never mind. Just get him out of here, will you? Out.
Well, I guess we'd better leave, Dr. Lewis. My friend's a little jittery.
Yes, I noticed that, Mr. Jittery. Very bad, very bad. Does he happen to have a toothache?
No, there's nothing wrong with my teeth. But my head is beginning to ache.
Just as I thought. Well, I'd advise you to have it pulled out.
Well, and I'd advise you to get out. Now, go on. Scram.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's get down to business, Mr. Scram.
My name is Burns.
To be sure. My wits must have been gathering wool. Well, let's get down to business, Mr. Wool.
Burns.
Naturally, wool burns. Has a horrible odor, too. Well, let's get down to business, Mr. Odor.
Bill, you better remove this character before I murder him.
Okay, George. Come along, Dr. Lewis.
To be sure. Is it too late to catch the 4 o'clock bus?
No, it's only 1 o'clock now.
Oh, dear. Missed it again. Well, goodbye.
Of all the silly, idiotic things he had...
Doctor, did he leave?
Well, don't worry. Now, I'll get another one. Now, you just lie down, and I'll go in the kitchen and fix you a nice glass of warm milk. And don't move until I get back.
All right, dear. My, he's sweet today. I wonder if he's been playing poker again. Come in.
Oh, hello, Gracie. I brought over the child that you're to care for. Little Bobby Ross.
Oh, how nice, Ruthie. Where is he?
Right behind me. Drop that frog, Bobby, and come on in.
Okay. This where I'm going to hang out?
Yes. Well, take good care of him, Gracie. I'll pick him up later. Goodbye.
Goodbye. My, Bobby, you're bigger than I expected. You're quite a handsome little man.
Take it easy, lady. I'm going steady.
Oh. Well, tell me about yourself, Bobby. Where does your mother work?
On one of the airplane plants. She works on a propeller.
My goodness. I should think she'd get dizzy spinning around like that. Do you think you're going to like it here, Bobby?
Yeah, this is a swell joint.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm mowing them down. Don't you see him up there?
Where?
There goes a Stuka. There goes a Messerschmitt.
Why, you're a regular quiz kid. Imagine knowing the scientific names of those mosquitoes.
Are you kidding? Say, I'm hungry. You got any chow?
Yeah, there's some fruit out in the dining room. Get yourself an apple.
Okay, don't care if I do.
Oh, can't help wishing he was just a little smaller.
Here's your milk, Gracie. Did you keep quiet while I was gone?
Yes, Judge, perfectly quiet. Oh, by the way, while you were out in the kitchen, the baby came.
The baby?
Yes, but he's just a little bit...
Where is he?
Well, in the dining room. He's getting an apple.
Getting an apple?
Yeah, he's a little older than I expected, George, but I'm glad to care for any child whose mother works in the defense plan.
I don't get it. You mean the baby isn't out?
No, dear, we're taking care of Mrs. Ross's boy while she's working at Consolidated.
Gee, I'm not a father. So what'll I say to the boys? What about all those cigars? I feel terrible.
Oh, buck up, George. Remember that inspiring poem of Kipling's that I always quote? If you can lose your head and never keep the common touch, if you can walk with kings while the dawn comes up like thunder, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Now I feel better, yeah.
The Six Hits and a Miss and the boys in the band and yours truly have brought a little fat man over here to Camp Elliott to join the Marines. He's overweight, but a few weeks in boot camp will put him in fine shape. Going to give him to you right now. It's Mr. 5x5.
Twirl my turban, man alive. Here comes Mr. 5x5. He's one of those big fat mountain boys, solid average of poise. Mr. 5x5. He's 5 feet tall and he's 5 feet wide. He don't measure no more from head to toe than he do from side to side. Mr. 5x5, a 15 pin and a line of jive. He's a mellow old cat, a real hep fan. He'd be Mr. 5x5. That man can really jump it for a fat man.
Boy, the only trouble is there's no way of knowing
whether he's coming on or going. 5x5. He's like the glove on the solid side. He don't shake it no more from head to toe than he do from side to side. Mr. 5x5.
Hide me, Gracie. Hide me from the kid.
Where is Bobby? You're supposed to be playing with him.
I played with him for 3 hours and I'm worn out. If his mother works overtime tonight, I'm dead.
Well, did you play games?
Yeah, games. I was supposed to be a Japanese zero and he shot me down 5 times.
Oh, yes. I thought that would be fun. I hope you didn't mind the little extra touch I added.
What extra touch?
Telling him to put a lighted cigar in your pants pocket so you come down with your fuselage smoking.
So that's where he got that idea. I wish I'd never set eyes on that kid.
Here you are. You're a zero and I'm going to get you. Get down.
Okay, I'm down. Now let go of my sleeve. Let go of my sleeve. What are you doing?
I'm tearing off a piece of your wing for a souvenir.
Now cut it out. And I'm not going to play any more zero with you.
Okay, you make a lousy zero anyway. My grandmother is more maneuverable.
Why, you...
Oh, now, dear, please. Oh, I'll tell you what, Bobby. Suppose I tell you a story.
I hate stories.
You hate stories, huh?
Sure, they're corny.
Gracie, tell him a story and make it long.
All right. I'll tell you the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears.
Oh, brother.
Now, once upon a time, there were 3 little bears who lived in a itty-bitty pool. And whenever they huffed and puffed, they blew it down.
Is she on the level?
Keep your yap close, kid. Go ahead, Gracie.
Well, one day, a girl named Little Red Goldilocks was riding through the woods in a pumpkin coach. She came to the itty-bitty pool and knocked on the door, but nobody answered, so she climbed up the beanstalk and went in.
Hey, Hey, lady!
Shut up. Go on, Gracie.
Well, while she was asleep, the three little bears came home and they said, "Fee-fo-fi fum, I smell." Little red Goldilocks tried to run away, but she had very small feet, and at midnight the bears caught her and hit her on the head with a glass slipper.
Oh, go on.
That's all.
That's the story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, kid, shoot me down again.
There must be some way to entertain you that's not quite so noisy. Oh, I have it. I'll get my little duck Herman. Now, don't go away now.
Now, listen, son.
You're a zero.
Oh, stop it. Is the Air Force the only branch of the service?
It's the loudest.
Well, ground yourself.
Hiya, George. Is the baby here yet?
Yeah, this is it, Bill.
This?
Yeah. It was all a mistake. We're just keeping this kid while his mother is at work. I'm not going to be a father.
Oh, well, gee, that's too bad. I'm sorry, old man.
Fine time to call me old man.
What else can he call you?
Keep quiet before I give you a hit in the head.
George, never tell a child you're going to give him a hit in the head. Never.
Bill, believe me, it wouldn't do any harm to this kid.
But George, you don't understand child psychology. You've got to talk the kid's language. Treat him as your pal, your chum.
You can do that, huh?
Why, of course. Watch this. Hello, Bobby, little pal. Let you and I smear dirt all over our faces and play commando. What do you say, little chum?
Commando? You said it, pal. Let's go.
Okay. And when we get through, we'll go upstairs and wash our little face and hands with Swan, huh? You know. You know Swan, the new white floating soap that gives you all that swell baby gentle lather so fast. What do you say, little chum?
You trying to make a stooge out of me?
That psychology is great. I wouldn't be without it more, Bill. More psychology.
Well, I can see that Bobby
Right
likes
up,
to
Bill.
talk straight from the shoulder. Man to man, eh, little chum?
You shut up, wavy wig.
Yeah, go right ahead, Wavy Wig. Give him that man-to-man stuff.
Well, I will, George. Little pal, man to man, you can't buy a purer soap than Swan. Swan's as mild as the finest Castiles. So mild it's swell for even a baby's tender skin. So naturally it's great for your bath or shower. What say you go upstairs and try it, huh, little pal?
Just a minute, Bright Eyes. Are you trying to little pal me into a bathtub?
Psychology, Bill. Psych him, Bill. Psychology.
Okay.
Psych him.
All right, Bobby.
Give him a big psych.
I'll psych him. I promise not to mention Swan soap again unless you ask me about it. How's that?
It's a deal.
Okay, little chum. Now, you ever seen one of those big Catalina flying boats? A fella your size could crawl right into one of those floats on the wing.
What float?
Swan floats, and thanks for asking. Yes, sir. Now that you brought it up, Bobby, I might mention that you can break Swan in two and use half in the kitchen for dishes and housework and half in the bathroom for your hands and face or your bath. One soap for the whole house, little chum.
Cross me up, huh? Now you're a zero.
George, do me a favor.
What?
Give that kid a hit in the head. Goodbye.
Yeah, kid. Everybody loves you.
Oh, here we are, Herman. Now say hello to your little friend, Bobby.
You're a zero, Herman.
Oh, boys, please. Herman, why don't you sing a song for Bobby? Oh, come on. I'll tell you what. We'll sing Three Blind Mice like we always do, all right? Good. Now you start it off and then I come in. Go. Three blind mice. See how they run. Don't you remember the rest of it, sweetheart? Oh, come on, try again. Three blind mice. See how they run. so cute. Even a baby could remember that song. Now, I'll start this time, and you follow me. 3 blind mice. See how they run. Let's play something else. You're 0, Bobby.
Quiet. I wish somebody would fire a real machine gun at me, loaded with aspirin. Listen. Come in.
Oh, good evening, Gracie. Well, Bobby's mother has finished work, and I've come to take him home.
Well, I never thought I'd say that, Mrs. Palmtag, but bless your heart. Now I can get some rest. Okay, Bobby, out.
Oh, by the way, in Bobby's place, I'm leaving another child to spend the night with you.
Oh, no.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, George? We're going to be parents on the swing shift.
Yes, it's really wonderful.
Well, come in, Jenny, and say hello to Mr. and Mrs. Burns.
Hello. Oh, a little girl. Oh, George, isn't she the sweetest thing you ever saw?
Yeah, she's cute. Yeah, but if we have to have a kid around here, I'm glad it's a little girl. Hiya, Jenny. What's the good word?
You're a 0.
Oh, no!
George and Gracie will be right back, so I'm just going to say, don't forget that special sale on Swan soap that so many dealers are running right now. Buy 3 bars and save. And I do mean save. Because sale or no sale, Swan saves you money. Use Swan for dishes and housework, and you save because Swan goes further than easily wasted package soap. Use Swan for your hands and face or for your bath, and you save again because Swan gives you more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested. So come on, swing to Swan now, when you can buy 3 bars and save. Well, here they are, George and Gracie.
Oh, George, wasn't it fun doing our show down here at Camp Elliott today?
Yes, and I'm especially glad that we're here today. It happens to be the Marine's birthday.
Oh, well, that's wonderful, George.
Today the Marines are 167 years old.
Oh, really? Well, some of them don't look it.
Well, congratulations.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. These programs are shortwave to our armed forces everywhere. Remember, Swan now brings you 2 of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou every Friday night over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pie, donuts, things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.